Yo,
Yeah, bro. Can't, that's
yeah,
I can't.
I think we live now still. Yeah, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. All right then. Back again
Mm,
still on another Wednesday. Man like Doctor X in the building. We got Uncle Doctor X.
yeah, respect.
You hear me? All right,
yeah.
cool, man.
Mm,
Let me introduce the show. Obviously, it's a ghettoology thing still. Everybody who know Doctor X already from long time know about ghettoology. Big analytical show where man just breaks down a bag of things
mm,
that's happening in the ghetto and outside the ghetto as well. You get me? But the main focus is the ghetto. You get me? That's where they come from. You get me?
straight.
Yeah. But
Yeah.
this show in particular is titled "The Age of the Neurotic Negro." You get
Mm,
me? So
mm,
we're gonna break that down and go into exactly what that means and why man decided to go with that title. You get me?
mm-hmm.
So yeah, X,
Yeah.
if you wanna take over and let the people them know what going, you get me?
All right, respect, bro. Yeah. Name is Doctor X. For those who don't know, and for those who do, like, yeah, I do this thing. Get ologies about the study of the urban environments worldwide and stuff. And the main thing is in terms of my mindset and what I do is really about it's about resistance and psychological resistance to the brainwash of the European and the white cultural society after post-slavery. So if you're white or you know what I'm saying or from some other culture and you're listening and you think, oh, what's this brother on? You know what I'm saying? Sometimes you can listen as a um, I don't know what the word is. You can listen as a spectator or if you want to if you feel you've got something to say, but it's mainly based for that because we're the people that are in trouble. Well, I believe so. You know what I'm saying? We're the people that face faces the most stigma within the society in terms of the last I don't know 3, 5, 6 thousand years under European and white rule, white cultural rule. So that's basically where I'm coming from. But when I say ghettoology, it's just the study, as anybody knows what an ology is a study of something. So I've taken years and time to study or look at, obviously from a personal point of view, because this is not based upon academic, like sanctioned academic study based upon no European ideal. It's based upon my own study over a number of years and my own particular analysis, you know what I'm saying, of what I think you know what I mean, and what I theorize as some of the states that we're in and how I come to and obviously I break down or I let you know how I come to those types of conclusions. Now, sometimes I go to, I'm of Jamaican heritage. You know, I mean, I was born in London, so I have, and I have a mixed upbringing. So I've got a Cockney slang, twang sometimes, and I've got, a Jamaican twang sometimes, and I just talk like this sometimes. So, that's the way that's the way I flow. Nothing you can do about it. You know what I'm saying? You can't change it. It's always been that way, and I'm happy with it. So, I mean, I'm not working with any convention. So you take it as it comes, you take it as you see it. You know what I mean? Or as you hear it. So that's it really. That's the bottom of what I'm doing. I've been doing this for a number of years. As I said, I've been on television. I've lectured live. I'm repeating this really because it's a new platform for me in terms of Google Hangout. But I've done many radio shows, hundreds of radio shows. I've done, quite a few live lectures across the years. You know what I'm saying? In front of live audiences by myself. So this is what I come with in terms of my resume. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to go and say all the stuff that I've done, but I've done quite a bit in terms of being a person speaking on the issues of the black community. Yeah, so today we're talking about the age of the neurotic Negro because we're dealing with a neurosis, you know what I'm saying, that black people have developed. Because when you live in a westernized country, you know what I'm saying, based upon westernized ideals, yeah, based upon European ideals, based upon their Freud and their psychologists and their Piaget and their their philosophers, Plato and stuff like that. When you talk about living under the mantle of their their psychological slavery, you know what I'm saying, and their ideological slavery and their, you know, cultural slave, you know, this is what we've been living under. So what you end up with as a fallout of living amongst these people is some of their genetic, you know, their genetic wherewithal, their genetic hand-me-down, you know what I'm saying, the genetic vibes, you know what I'm saying, just like how they pick up on our genetic vibes and our genetic wherewithals and whatever, and you know, start to do the dancing and want to talk like us, or want to high five, fist bump, and all these stuff they took from us, and we're taking a lot of stuff from them because they're a fairly negative, absorbing race. Now, the mistake a lot of people make when they listen to white people, when they listen, or they, as black people, is that they're a very positive people, and they're clearly not. What they do is they go around to other cultures and they pick out positivity out of other cultures and bring back to their cultures, and then rehash it to make it seem as if it's part of their culture. You know what I'm saying? So you don't have what you think you have when you're amongst them. You know what I'm saying? Unless you're properly brainwashed and you're properly a white worshipper. You know what I'm saying? I'm not a white worshipper, so I just, you know, intelligence is there for everyone. As you know, many people know that the original people of the planet are black. You know what I'm saying? So I myself, I don't go by the term African, I go by the term human. Because if we were created first, we are, you know, it's clear that when they did the Cheddar Man the other day, they made him a black man with blue eyes. You know, so when there was no ice caps and there was no ice melting and all that, and the earth was already in play, there would not have needed to be any white people. You know what I'm saying? Because it would have been a sun planet that reflects sun people. You know what I'm saying? So the original people of the planet would have been black and brown across the entire globe. So everywhere, if you listen to the author J.R. Rogers, he's written a book that the first civilization was black. You know what I'm saying? As many other people have talked about it. Many other white scholars have said that Adam and Eve would have had to have been black. But obviously, it's not institutionally taught, because obviously the institutions are what imprison black people. You know, because the governments made it legal to enslave black people. Black people, it was their government, just like how they're saying, you know, they're going to chuck us out of the country, or just like how they're saying, you know, we've got to go by this law. That is the same government that said it was legal for us to be their slave, right? These people. So it's not something that you can hide under. You know, you can dodge or hide from. They are an enslaving race. You know what I'm saying? And they've done these things. So what I'm trying to explain to people is that by understanding that, you can understand why they are the way they are with us. You know what I'm saying? Why they are the way they are with the earth itself. You know, the place that they've made for themselves on the planet, the place that they've created for themselves on the planet. You know what I'm saying? In terms of you know, legalizing, you know, the enslavement of people. You know what I'm saying? Because remember, in order to make it legal, they have to then lie to themselves and lie to the rest of their population and say that we're animals and this, that. We're the same people now today. So how come we're not animals now, but we're animals then? What did they civilize us? Are we now walking animals? Or, you know, so one wonders how they really see us then. You know what I'm saying? Because they have, as you know, and as most people know, you know what I'm saying, we are brutalized across the continent. You know what I'm saying? As a race, many brown skinned races have been wiped out by white people so that they can have a place on the earth. Now, before I go there, still, I just wanted to make a point. Now, people can say, like, and I'm going to make this point over and over again. Yeah, 1 second. I'm going to make this point over and over again. People can say that, you know, I'm racist, or, you know, people are racist because they don't like what you say. Because most people who don't have much sense and don't have much to go by, and haven't really done any much studying in terms of black people, they use the term racist in order to try and, you know, to stop an argument when you're trying to point out the things that white people have done to black people over the years. So you're not going to get a good argument. You're not going to get a good argument when people are just going to stop you by saying that you're racist. So this is how they shut down your argument. Now let me be clear. I theorize. That means it's by theory. When I say my stuff, is what I've used and gathered as evidence, and it's for everybody to gather as evidence. It's not like it's specific to me. The information's out there for anybody to pick. Google is such a great help in just finding out who killed who murdered who, when they landed on Plymouth Rock in America, what nation they were from. You know what I'm saying? When they landed in Australia, what nation they were from, how they did it. It's all there. It's nothing new. It's nothing specific. So when you start talking about these things, they start saying you're racist. So I'm trying to say this. It's not about being racist. It's about being able to say some stuff that's true. You know what I'm saying? And if you got anything other to say than to say I'm racist, then say it. But if you say I'm racist, I'm going to cut you off because you're stupid. You know what I'm saying? You have to be able to prove that what I said is not true.
So you're saying, do you encourage opinions like that are contradicting yours?
Yeah, absolutely.
Like in a debate fashion.
Absolutely. But no, you can't say I'm racist because then that's silly. You know what I mean? That means that you're trying to shut the argument down because I'm never going to use anything like, I'm not going to say all white people kill black babies. That's racist. You know what I'm saying? But if I said that white people enslave black people, that's not racist. If I say that white people are dominating black people across the continent, that's not racist. If I say that white people, and remember, the term white people doesn't mean all white people. Let's get that clear. You know what I'm saying? It's a generalized term in the English language, like you say, black people are good at sports. Not all black people are good at sports, but no one challenges that.
So you're saying more time. Sorry to cut you, just for some clarifications too. So more time when you're talking and you say white people this and white people that, is the general kickback you get not all white people?
Every single time when they want to shut down your argument, not all white people. But I'm not saying all white people.
So why you don't say that in the beginning? Some white people, some white people.
You don't have to say some white people. That's what they want to get you doing. You know what I'm saying? That's what they want to get you doing. They want to control your narrative, don't they? Why do you have to say some? Why, if you when you say black people are good at sports, does anybody shout up and jump up? When you say black teenager involved in knife crime, does anybody jump up and say not all or some? Why are they allowed to use a language that we're not allowed to use? Why is our language got to be tempers but theirs not?
I don't know. I hear you still. It's like what I'm trying to get is like if you got a specific objective when you're communicating and you want somebody to understand what you're talking about, and if you go about doing something a certain way, and every time like you end up having to explain that this isn't what you mean, what you're hearing is something else, then I don't know. Like if it was me, I would like think of a way of how to. I hear what you're saying though. Obviously, you ain't trying to conform to another person's way of how you should be and all of that. But in terms of communication,
but there's nothing wrong with the communication. What is wrong with it? I don't understand what I'm saying. I'm asking you, what is wrong with the communication? You're saying in terms of, I'm saying, well, it's the same communication they use in their newspapers, in their articles, in their speaking. I don't understand. Why do I have to conform as a black man? Why don't you understand?
Something needs to change. Something needs to happen in order for the
but
the message to be getting across straight.
We are always capitulating. We are always giving away. Why is that? Why is it we that's got like with this constant slave race amongst these people all the time? You understand what I'm saying? I've just explained what I'm saying, and yet still, not you. You know what I'm saying? Yet still, they're going to still come. That's why I had to go over it, because yet still, they don't want that. They want it their way. That's what I'm saying. So you're capitulating all the time. So when do you win? If everything you do is at the behest of what they want, and how do you win? They've been doing this for years. That's how Martin Luther got to make his speech. They're always telling you what you can say and cannot say. You'll never win. You'll never be able to make headway when you keep on bowing to what their needs are, when you're using their language. Generalization.
Up to more and higher.
Sorry?
Sorry, X. Let me just do a quick big up to more and higher still. He slapped him 50 knocks. It's a big up, always bringing the content over everything. But yeah, don't know, X. Continue on, fam.
I respect that, right? So, you know what I'm saying? So what we have is a people, you know what I'm saying, that continually create to challenging and controlling black people's narrative. Why do you think 50 years, like, because I'm going to do a meme about this and put up on my thing. 50 years ago, right? Just before the, but in, you know what I'm saying? In what do you call a half a century? You know what I'm saying? They were fighting to vote almost, yeah? Right? 50 years ago. And anti-bullying, they were saying, stop police brutality. What are they saying now? And what they're trying to do now? 50 years later. They're trying to fight police brutality and trying to get to vote. I mean, more people can vote, but they're finding as many ways as they can to stop black people from voting. If they've got a fine, if they've been to felon, you know what I'm saying? So in 50 years, you still haven't made a headway with all your capitulations. You're still capitulating. So what I am saying is that it's fear. If I use the language in the context that you created it, that you're going to want to then further, you know what I'm saying, strangle me in order so that I can fit in a narrative that you can control again. And I'm saying that there's nothing to control. You know what I'm saying? There's nothing to control. All I'm saying is that it's fear that I use a generalized term because they use it in their newspapers, they use it in their media, they use it on their, you know what I'm saying? So why can't I just use it and you understand what I mean? And I say, not your next door neighbor white person, not they all, I'm not racist. You can't say, well, I didn't say all white people. I didn't add that. I didn't say all white people. I said white people. You get what I'm saying, bro? That's what I'm saying. I'm saying white people, not saying all white people. That's like when they're saying basketball players, you know, some of the best basketball players are black. Not all black, all, you know what I'm saying? All basketball players are black. You know, or basketball players, black players are good at basketball, or black players are good at, not all. It's, I'm saying it doesn't, it's clear about that. Why isn't it that it's not clear for them? Why is it only clear for us? So if you're trying, you know, this is the constant capitulation, the constant backing up that you have to do when you're moving forward to them. Oh, we want this type of rule. You can't say that, but you can say this. You can't say that, but you can say this. So you're going to be forever underneath them. You know what I'm saying? If they don't understand that we have a human right as well. You brought forth the transgenders. You had a black man in power. You brought forth the transgenders and the homosexual. And you know, for 50 years, people have been fighting for the right to be heard. And 50 years, nothing. But the transgender who didn't have a fight that we was aware of 50 years ago has got it's got a status now as well, you know, been moved forward. And the people who had a fight 50 years ago are still having a fight today. I don't understand how people are not incensed. Black people are not incensed. They're too. It seems as if we become too. You know what I mean? I don't know if the word become too much like them. We become neurotic. You know what I mean? Under their rule. You know what I'm saying? Instead of standing and fighting for our rights and stand up and trying to be, you know, other than just a dancer and somebody, we've allowed them to give us pathways that we can follow that they're happy with. Yeah, talk about killing a nigger, talk about murdering and, you know, fucking some chick and you know, having reckless kids and have a well of a time doing that. You know what I'm saying? And we're happy to support that, and we're happy to pay into that. And so all the people that support that go, yeah, you know what I mean? Like, yeah, you've got to make money. No, we've got to do this. All under the basis of destroying their community.
Hey, there was complaining. There was a complaint. I don't know. Have you heard that that tune by Dave Santana, Black?
Yeah. Bad tune.
It's a banger still. That's complaining about that one though. Still.
You know what I'm saying? Like, this is what I'm trying to tell you. Anything to do with your movement forward, white people, this is what I'm going to say, which is going to, you know, going to fuck with them. White people, in my theory, are inherently, that's genetically, across the globe, racist. Yeah? How about that? How about they swallow that one? As far as I'm concerned, white people, I never said all white people across the globe of Earth are inherently racist. They're genetically designed to be racist. How about that? If you think that you and them is the same type of race, then we're going to have a problem. That's a whole nother argument. But you understand what I'm saying? Like, you don't have any continent where black people planted with white people that black people are not distressed. You don't have any. So so you cannot then assume that it's only a few white people are racist. There's millions of racist white people, millions upon millions of them. So how did that work out when I'm not racist? You're not racist. No, I'm not racist. You can say that, but yet millions of you across the entire earth are racist and exact racist policies and destroy and lock up and murder and kill and brutalize and terrorize and rape black people. I don't understand how you then look at yourselves and say you're not inherently racist. You know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? If it was just in London, you'll say, yeah, cool. If it's just in New York, you go, all right, cool. If it's just in Bronx, say, yeah, it's cool. It's like, you know, they're not all racist. Across the entire planet, they have wiped out black people for hundreds of years. You understand what I'm saying? So there's no, you cannot have that argument anymore. You know what I mean? Because you're scared. You know what I'm saying? You know, like, you become neurotic. You're scared. You're frightened. All this
Yeah,
acting.
break down the neurosis. How do you define that in terms of the neurotic Negro?
He's impulsive. Yeah. All of them. Remember, neurotic is not a male. It's Negroes. It's like it's all of us. It's the black people. Them. Yeah. They're impulsive. You know what I'm saying? They're lots of, you know, there's a big movement now about mental health in the black community, yeah? So that shows, so therefore it shows you neurosis is a mental health condition, yeah? So black people now are now, over these years and years of being amongst these people, are now moving into a psychological and a mental dilemma. You know what I'm saying? So neurosis is based upon it's like a personality trait. You know what I'm saying? Or a character trait. You know what I'm saying? You like they worry a lot. You know what I'm saying? They're quick to vex. You know, like, you know, this is what you learn. This is what you got from slavery. You know what I'm saying? You're often like, who are you chatting to? Who you know, that kind of irritability. You know what I'm saying? And like, where's that, you know, and this highlight raring and one bag of knives, and you know what I'm saying? It's you know what I'm saying? Anything that's on you, like, it's like you can't manage, like, oh, leave me alone, don't chat to me. You know, it's like, you know what I mean? That whole kind of inability to manage stress.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Because, you know, in a society such as this, they're not teaching, they're just constantly bullying you into doing what they want you to do. They're not teaching you how to manage this life. You know what I'm saying? So now you got your children at 3-year-olds, instead of learning about politics, instead of learning about money management and business, which is the basis of this country, they want you to learn about how to have sex with other people, your 3-year-old. But there's other things to learn, but guess what they want you to learn? Sex. You understand what I'm saying? So that means that
you're saying at 3 years old.
At 3 years old, yeah, in school, this is what they want, and they want to inject policies like a penal system, like an institution, like a jail. That school people, the people that work in school are like prison warders. They have full. These are the things that they want to bring into play. School people have full control of your children. If you don't, anyway, I'm going to go into that later on. If you don't realize that you're in a prison and a penal system based upon these people who I believe, you know, have an alien behavior to humanity. Yeah, I mean, that's a whole nother story, but we'll get there. So, to be neurotic, as you know, like these youths are so easily offended that they will kill their brethren because he said something to them. You know what I'm saying? That's like a neurotic mental, that's part of what a mental disease is. You're going to kill your brethren because he offended you. You know what I'm saying?
So what would you say are the factors that contribute to that mentality, though? Like, and when does it kick in? Like
oppression, white racist oppression. Yeah, this what you're living in is still racism. The schools are still fucking you up. You know, all this high, you know, like as we was talking about earlier, you know, we got the other show to do, the Hollywood Effect. You know what I'm saying? But this is what they're doing. It's all a game to them. They have no intention of black people moving forward. 50 years in one country, nothing. 50 years in nothing. They're throwing you out. Come on, like, it's just, what do you need? What more, you know, they talk about evidence, but when you present them with evidence, they say you're conspiratorial. It's a conspiracy theory. So there's evidence that they use in court and stuff like that. And then they say, yeah, you're guilty, you're going to jail. And then you present them with evidence that is there clearly. And then they say it's conspiracy. You can't win. They're not good people. But you know what I'm saying? Like, you have anger. This is what neurotic is. Full of anger and rage. You know what I'm saying? This is neuroticism. You know what I'm saying? You know, you can't adjust proper. You know, like when you like middle of summer, bruv, a man's got on a fucking big. What's them coats called, bruv? Them
Monclers.
Yeah, what are they called? What's the literal name for them? Quilted jackets.
Yeah, duck down.
Yeah, bruv, it's nearly 30 degrees, bruv. Man's got on duck down. On road, like, you know what I mean? Man, 30 degrees, boy. Are you dying in that or what? What the fuck? You know what I'm saying? That's social maladjustment. What is in you? What is it? Is it skunk? What's making you don't realize that, bruv? You're super double triple hot in that, bruv. You can't tell nobody nothing. That's why my boy got such a big up, and he won't ever get another song like that. Man's not hot. You understand? Because it was such a fucking obvious. stupidness amongst the youths them. Bruv, it's hot, bruv. That's a duck down. Duck down keeps in the heat. That's why it costs so much money. That's a special part of the goose or the duck that you know what I mean keeps the most heat in, bruv. So it's a special extraction of that underlayer of feather, yeah. It's a special underlayer of that. You got the cheap feather on the top, and then underneath the duck's wings, you got this duck down, and underneath the goose wings, you got the goose down, the warmest part, the thickest, most densest part of their feathers. Yeah. So that's what they're using, and you're telling me at 30 degrees you got on the Montclair duck down jacket, bro? Are you a nutter?
Why is man wearing that though? For real,
that's what I'm saying though. Like that's what neuroticism. This is what I'm trying to tell you, that we're in the age of the neurotic Negro, because he doesn't even know that he's sort of maladjusted. Like you can have like a sort of like almost like a disease where, you know what I'm saying, you not even recognizing that you're sweating, you don't even recognize that you're hot. That means something's fucked up in the way you're thinking, bro. You are ill, bro.
What would you say is like the percentage of people that's affected by this in our community? I don't know. Sometimes people say like the figures, especially when they're reporting on the negative aspects of the black community, that people say that the figures are always over exaggerated and it's not as bad as it seems. I don't know.
Oh really? Is that what they're telling you? Because I can bring you 10 people straight off who will tell you that they know people that's either dead or in jail. Straight off. And you can, and everybody that you know can. So how's it over exaggerated? It would only be exaggerated if you said, I don't know nobody that does that. I don't know nobody that does that. I don't know. That's what you'd keep getting. But you know everybody else that knows everybody else that knows somebody else who knows somebody that's been either shot dead or murdered or whatever, shot in. You know what I'm saying? It's what it is. But the highlight is that they're focusing on and making the black people to look bad when the drugs come from them. The lack of opportunities, they shut down the youth clubs. They constantly doing this. They don't really want black people to move forward, because we are what they lived. Everything that they've got in their entire life is based off of murdering and killing and raping black people. When do you think the elite are going to give that up for fun? They don't want to pay you reparations because they need a lot of money. Reparations mean that you'll actually have real power. That means that you'll be able to look at man in his eye. You know what I'm saying? And say, well, no, you can't do it. You can't walk into my conversation as I'm speaking. You can't run your hand through my hair and I don't know you from a hole in the wall. You know what I'm saying? This, there's things that they would lose. And remember, white people are inherently wicked to their one another, Their history shows that they're inherently wicked to each other. They had their children up chimneys, and dying. You know what I'm saying? Their governments had them living in houses without windows. You know what I'm saying? These are not a good people. He's not a historically good living people. So why would you then trust them with your future? Now, right now, everything is you live in a penal system, because everything you do, in this country, you're penalized for. You go out the door, you pay, you got a £1 fine. You forgot to pay £1 into your car parking. Next thing you know, you forget, you didn't see the letter. Now it's £200 from £1. Where did they get that from? Because they're a greedy race. They're a greedy, self-satisfying race. And I can say this anywhere. This is not make-believe. This is me coming to a conclusion about what you've been doing. I've been doing this a long time. I haven't been saying this all this time, but I've realized that you have no intention of helping black people. None. You just play a game with them and make it seem that way until you can start getting rid of them and replacing them. As we speak, they're replacing people with AI. What kind of race of people want to replace their own people with a machine, so that their people no longer have job and a few people benefit? So instead of feeding 1,000 people, you know what I mean, you change them and you feed 100 people, and then a group of like 30 people get all that money.
AI is a serious thing, man. No, some of the man was talking about that in the park. Well, I say the man them still.
They're always going to do that. This is the nature of the European. They've got an alien nature to humanity. They're not humanists. They're not of that. So I question their humanity. I question whether they're actually, like back in the day, they had this saying. I think it was drawn by a guy called Wedgwood, and it had a black man kneeling with a change, and you said, "Am I not a brother and a human?" He on his knees with his hands clasped, begging. You know, like, you know what I mean?
The
Like
drug thing
I
still.
pray about, but not with his. Not, have you seen the picture I'm talking about?
Yeah. So
Yeah,
anytime I see them slavery pictures, there's always put man in a position like man was ever like on this beggy thing, like submissive. So I'm
yeah.
joking, fam. I don't know people like that. Well, I can't say I don't know people like that still, but more people I know, fam, are on this ride or die. They're rather dead than make a
Yeah,
man
they're chatting that
treat them
shit,
like that.
bruv. That's what Hollywood effects about. They're chatting shit. They ain't gonna die for shit. You understand what I'm saying? They only die for what? And you say, when you tell me the last time somebody died for a cause other than drugs or a free argument or a gal. Rather die for what? That's chatting foolishness. You know what I'm saying? They're acting, it's characterized, and that's you see. This is what I'm saying about personality traits and neuroticism. It fucks with your personality. You know what I'm saying? You become narcissistic. You like I said with this social maladjustment. You don't know what the fuck you're doing. You're trying to act tough in the 30 degrees with your Montclair, and what happens is that guy underneath the Montclair is so fucking skinny. He's afraid to show his real skinniness. So the Montclair jacket makes him look big, and he can't take it off. He's socially maladjusted. You know, he doesn't know what to do because the environment we live in is so fucking threatening. Ride die a muma. Which ride or die where? Ride or die. Who's ride or dying for what? Nobody's ride or die for shit around here, bruv. Except next man and drugs and foolishness. That ride or die. Is that what ride or die is? Killing man over a next man's beef, or killing man's over a next man's drugs or a next man's girl. Is that what ride or die is? What kind of idiot thing is that? It's just, and then when they go to jail, the fucking screws have got them on lock. They're not on nothing.
Still.
They're not on shit when they go to fucking jail. They're looking visitation to send them PS4, bruv. That's what they're looking. And TV. And fucking, they want the girl to send them in fucking trainers and that. And, you know, Harachis and shit to wear in jail. That's what they're looking at. Right or die where?
I hear you still. I can't even front still, car.
I'm saying that's a joke thing.
It's selective badmanism still, car.
Selective badmanism. That's what I'm saying. They're only strong amongst. They're only vicious. It's character acting. That's what I'm saying to you. When they reach a certain age, it drops off. I've watched it. I've worked with youths for over 20 years. You know what I'm saying? I've watched youths grow up and have youths. Yeah. It's character acting. They're acting because they're trying to front out their lifestyle in this system. It's hostile. So they have to develop a character and try to be that. I've watched them, bro. I've watched good guys turn into bad boys, and I'm thinking, how the fuck did you get from that? And I heard one of your callers on another show said the same thing. Them boys have no business being in that kind of gang or that group. But what happens is there's a proliferation of badness through the music. From the Jamaican music, they might talk about all unruly, all of bad man, all of a shot, all in our theme face, and then on the other hand, they tell you that it doesn't matter. It's like there's another element of blacks that they're so low that they want that to matter because they want to make money, and because of, you know, the white man and the white institutions have given you that avenue, and we're not that bright. You know, black people on the whole doesn't seem to reflect a whole bunch of brightness. They act too fucking childish, man.
We saying low IQ.
Huh?
He's saying low IQ.
I mean, not purposefully, but because of the things that we're still doing that comes out of that slave mentality. You meet a girl, you fuck her, and you know, in 2 weeks she's breeding. How the hell? What the fuck kind of you think's gonna come out that? And you don't see her again, or she's there complaining about you and she don't barely know you. You know, we haven't got no reparations. We haven't had a chance to stop and look at the madnesses that we've been up to over the years to change that. We can't do adverts. You know, if we go on the radio station and do a thing, they lock it off. You can't do nothing unless white people say, I give you permission. Are you kidding me? They control every media on the fucking planet. Every media on the planet. And if they don't control it, and it's state like your show, for instance, if your show was doing like 7, 8 times, 10 million, they're going to approach you. They want to buy it. And if they can't buy it, they're going to find a way to fuck you up and send some shit after you and saying, yeah, you know, when he was you, he murdered some people or sold drugs. You know what I'm saying? Because they want to be in control of everything. Because the moment you get in control, like with BET at the moment where it starts to produce decent movies and decent films of positivity, now girls are calling each other bitches as their brethren. All right, bitch. Hi, bitch. Hello, bitch. Bitch, you bitch. What are you saying, bitch? What the fuck? They're going back. It's retarded. And they're all doing it because the white man has given them a way to make money by being negative to their own people. And the moment you mention Jew or white or anything, they lock you off. As long as you call your fucking girl a bitch, as long as a girl can call her best friend a bitch, it's fine. As long as you sing these songs that have a preponderance of negativity. have a preponderance of isolationism, or the preponderance of social maladjustment that increases envy. All these things is part of being neurotic. How the fuck can you just be a bad mind? I kill them on bad mind. Every song you fucking sing, bad mind. Them on the two bad mind. The fuck's wrong with you, brother? Is that the only song you can sing? Everybody bad mind. Them not bad mind. I mean, I try to them a bad mind. Like what? You see, every time somebody says something, a bag of man them say the same fucking thing. The bad mind is the person who's saying that your mind is bad. You know what I'm saying? Otherwise, you wouldn't be on that shit. This is where all this stuff, this is where neuroticism come from. The whole of us in the post-slavery generation have become neurotic and fucked up through the music, through the behavioralism, through the post-slavery, the inability to recognize post-slavery symptoms. Hold on a minute. You're saying to me then, a people can go through a trauma. There's over 500, 600, you know, what number? Because you can say 500 years as a regular standpoint, but it started before that because they were murdering people long before. But just say, for instance, for half a millennia and over half a millennia, black people have been they've been murdered, raped, chopped up, hung, burnt, buggered, disabled, incapacitated, torn apart, dissected, given diseases. You know what I'm saying? Diseased. Are you kidding me? Over this, and you're saying at the end of that we're supposed to go, good morning, how are you? Hi, good morning, have a happy day. Yeah. Is that what we're supposed to say at the end of all of that? Because what? Because you gave us a job? Or because you made us act on a television program? Or what? Because you've got a millionaire that can box? Or what is this? So is that how we get paid back then, yeah? I don't understand. These are the stuff I don't understand. How people think that somehow we could have gone through all of that and at the end come out righted. You know what I'm saying? I'm mad people, and you can tell, right, that the psychology and the subconsciousness of black people is clear because they always say the right things like ill. You know what I'm saying? That's ill because you're ill, right? That's sick because you're sick. That's mad because guess what? You understand? It's all in your subconscious. You know something ain't right with you. So everything that you use to make a thing, it's always about being mentally unstable or physically unstable. You understand what I'm saying? Because that's in our subconscious are telling us that this liberty is not right, but we make it sound like it's all positive. Yeah, that's mad, bro. That's mad. Yeah, of course it's mad. Because we're living in a psycho unit. You know what I'm saying? We're covered by a psycho people. You know what I'm saying? They're psychotic, these people. So they're giving us that.
They got me on the mad one still. Cause enough things I'm calling mad still like a mad thing. that's what I'm highlighting there still. So.
Yeah, but that mad thing line came from Jamaica. You know what I'm saying? They started that mad thing. You know
I was gonna say that as well though, cause obviously we saying for Windrush generation. Cause I don't know all of the footage is what I've seen of when that generation of Jamaicans first came over here. You could say that's a madness as well still, because I was all speaking Queen's English.
Yeah.
And had mad expectations of the ones that the footage that I've seen. Obviously, man weren't there in it, so I don't know that everybody was like that still. But they seem to be well mannered and but they consider themselves to be like British, like the empire is they're part of the empire, innit?
Yeah, absolutely.
So I don't know. I don't know if you would class that as a next form of the same madness what the youth them are going through.
Yeah, bro. If you could name for me the battles that we fought and the wars that we won, and name for me the commemoration of those heroes that fought in those battles. Yeah, name for me just a couple of them. Don't mention Nat Turner like there because there was no war and you know what I'm saying that we was commemorated for and it was awarded for. Don't mention to me anything. Mention to me the war we fought and what it was called, other than the one in the overture in Haiti. You know what I'm saying? Not that one.
Yeah.
I'm talking about the ones over this side, West America, England, Britain, France, Belgium, Congo.
I don't know still.
There weren't none. There weren't none. So what did you win? The closest thing you come to winning something is the civil rights movement in I think it's 1962 with Martin Luther King. That's the closest we've ever come to anything. Yeah, and they gave the rights to all. They're not giving you nothing. They'd rather give a homosexual direct homosexual rights than give a black man any direct rights. You got no direct rights. Your rights are encompassed with the people, the people that have enslaved you. It's mixed in with the people that have enslaved you. You have no direct rights. Homosexual.
Should man expect to be given any type of freedom or anything that's going to be beneficial for man getting any type of autonomy?
Not if you're conquered by a race of people. No. Why would you expect that?
Yeah, man, don't expect that.
Exactly. So you're not fighting for that. What you're fighting for acceptance. All this what we're going on, like they got a new guy going up, like this Bernie Sanders. They all talked about black man saying, yeah, let's vote for it. It's all over again. It didn't work with Bill Clinton. It didn't work with Bush. They, all the kind of stuff. The Democrats were the people that didn't want to free black people. That is the one we vote for. We're all sick. This is what we're sick, mad sick, head no good. Understand? We don't understand where we're going. We're too busy wanting to drink Hennessy, buds, buds, what I'm saying, and do whatever, you know what I'm saying? Zoots, and that's all we're interested in. And looking like Europeans, I got my Gooch on, I got my Fendi on, that's all we're interested in. These kind of, the ride or die guys you're talking about. They're only dying because they're not dying because they're fighting against the Ku Klux Klan. They're not dying because they're fighting against the far right and the racists. They're dying because they're killing each other based upon territory and stupidness. When I was younger, I used to talk about this happening because America was already feeding the black community jail talk and jail movies. All the movies that you got in England back in the late 90s were jail movies. Movies about jail and killing and shotting. There weren't no movies about people making models and airplane instructors or pilots, or there was none of those movies. People who were able to construct. There's lots of guys black guys who can construct. What I'm saying, computer machinery. There's lots of black guys all over the place. They don't talk about them. It's just about the gangsters who kill other black people to get their come up. You know what I'm saying? And their guns are always pointed at other blacks. Meanwhile, when the police them roll on them, it's him. It wasn't me. Yes.
He's saying they learn behavior when police come.
Yeah, of course, bro. This is not. You're saying what am I saying? If you can show me something else, then show me. Tell me. Say no, it's wrong. That's wrong, X. Show me how it really went.
That's real talk still. That's
how it really goes. This fake. This is what I talked about when we're doing that other show, Hollywood Effect. It's fake. Oh, you lot, they're living in this is neurosis. You lot are nuts. You know what I'm saying? You lot have lost your fucking minds.
But it seems so systematic. It seems so systematic, car. Even like personally, man know a few people, a few youths that's like growing up. Like man, see them growing up and they were just calm youths, like that. Like they didn't seem to be expressing no signs of like abnormal. Like, or that their head's gone in any mad way, like they're intelligent, high grades and all them things there, and then it's like a switch happens, fam, and then like I just don't hear from them for a bit, and when man hear back from them again, my man's in trouble. He's had to go live over there, cause he can't stay around there no more. Shanking, it's like raw, but I'm hearing it from different sets of people that don't know each other. It's the same story though. So I'm thinking, the thing's systematic for.
Right, yeah, because remember, they had the Jews. They've had years and years of learning how to terrorize people psychologically. You know what I'm saying? So 50 years ago, what was the run of the riots over? It was over stop and search. What are they doing still today? Stop and search. They have no intention of stopping anything. It's just a continuation. Now they're talking about building more prisons for the private people, them to make more money. They have no intent, bruv. I don't think these lot get it. In another 10 years, it's going to be worse because they have none of what they're doing is intention to stop crime. They're about finding different ways to incite crime and then make it look as if it's the black people then. You understand what I'm saying? So they go around, they terrorize young youths, they stop youths, just frivolously stop them, fuck with their equilibrium, fuck with their mentality, and then send them on their way. Youth's gone on vex, gonna like screwing like he's got no rights. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like he's feeling like violated. Man's telling to drop your pants in the middle of the road. Drop down your pants, want to see if you're carrying anything in your balls. You're humiliating people and then push them back into the community. Then arrest the next brother who's scared to go to jail but wants to floss like he's a bad man and make him into their little no-cool snitch. Because anything while going on ends, he's going to let them. And then if he goes in and flushes his bad man badge, you know what I'm saying, and wants to stab a brother, nobody can talk. And he doesn't go to jail. Because he's their local snitch. He's the man them snitch. He's the boy them snitch. You understand what I'm saying? This is what's happening. You know what I'm saying? The neurotic, the personality traits, right? You're saying that, let's look at this for a minute. You're saying that a man can develop a personality and he reaches a certain level and then it switches. That means he's gone nuts, bro. That's a nervous breakdown. There's something wrong with his personality because personality traits are developed from when you were young, yeah?
Yeah.
You know what I'm trying to say? So as you reach a certain age, they become stabilized. You know what I'm saying? These are things that they've written in their books. This is not, I'm not making stuff up. You know what I'm saying? So it becomes stabilized after a certain amount of years. Why did what? You know what I mean? Like they called about the cerebral cortex and all that kind of stuff. What flips that brother's brain to make him want to be a bad man after where his mum says, I don't even know him like that. No, how's he? I didn't. Yeah, what happened? The environment is hostile. You understand? The man them on road like these guys that come from parents that dads they never even seen. You know, women that can barely, you know, bring home shopping in the, you know what I'm saying? And all these kind of mad kids that are on the street because women are just having kids for no apparent reason other than they came from the dance with that brother. You know what I'm saying? And they're having no child other than the reason that it looks like this guy makes money. You know what I mean? Because he drives a nice car. Or guys going with the girls because she looks hot and she's wearing a, you know, she's wearing a Fendi dress or she's wearing a whatever, you know what I'm saying? That's what you're making your children based off. Not on the character traits, not on whether their personalities suit each other. You know what I'm saying? So you've got all these mishmash of personalities chuck-a-blocking together and creating beer madness. Mud, sick, and no good. Like it's like
where this culture come from though? Like I said, when it was Windrush generation, it was a family structure still. It wasn't nothing like that.
Yeah, but their family wasn't bright. Bro, with respect, the family wasn't bright. You know, when they came here to do menial duties, they weren't bright people. With respect, I'm just telling you with respect. You know, just got to keep this thing real, 100%, bro. These people came here to drive buses. These people came here. What? You know, I don't even remember some of them. I'm not saying all of them. You know, because remember.
Yeah, I was gonna say, I seen some documentaries where they're saying that they came here. There was overqualified for them type of job there, but that was the only jobs that was offered to them.
Yeah, some of them were. Some of them weren't.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I mean, like it depends on what angle you're looking at the pictures. It's clear that some of them weren't. You know what I'm saying? It's clear that some of them weren't. Some of them didn't even have books in their fucking houses. They lived in one rooms, bro, with a paraffin heater. You understand what I'm saying? They got up, just like see like how the immigrants now are coming to this country, living 6 in one room and all that, and having just a bed and they squat and they go work and come home and yum and just go sleep for the next day. So black people had to do it. You understand what I'm saying? This is why you know that this country is fucked up. Because it doesn't really care about people, it cares the elite. You know what I'm saying? I'll go into something else about that on the other show, on the next show. The elite, they don't give the people that the Lord and remember, the people of this country used to call their elite people Lord and Master. Yeah? That's how they used to address their own my Lord. Yeah? That's how they used to address their masters, their land, and that's how you got into the word, come up with the word landlord. Because they used to work for the master who was their landlord, and they used to call, what's the yield today? There, fire, rare, what's the yield? Yeah, somebody for potato you can get. You know what I'm saying? That's how it used to run. Yeah, what's the yield? Why thou Sufus don't give me no Ross yield today? You know what I'm saying? And if they fucked up, you know what I'm saying, they get some liquid sword and that. You understand what I'm saying? They've always been a wicked people. You remember, bro, if you go back to listen to tunes of like the 60s and the 70s, I'll be a wicked, you know, in Jamaica, yeah, the wicked, I go feel it, them too wicked, stuff. Even Cableton was that about, you know what I'm saying, about wicked, you know, the wicked there, man, you know what I mean? I'm saying, their ways are, I'm saying, something, their ways are not good. Yeah, before people start to sell out. When them see the money thing, I got this thing.
See them, you want to know them. Then you want to know them.
Yeah, it's gone now to all like a fuck a girl, you know what I'm saying? Nyama food, eat a food, unruly, me not no discipline, me just fuck girl and smoke weed and sing and rare, want kill man and get big gun. What the fuck kind of madness and psychotic behavior? You're sitting down there writing a song about this and no one thinks that nothing's wrong? They call it artistic expression, bro. Are you? We are seriously fucked. You know, and the moment a man said up to you, want to kill him, there's nothing. What is ride or die about that? You know what I'm saying? What's ride or die about wanting to kill a man because you don't like what he said? You know what I'm saying? The girls, they're neuroticism, they're needy. You know what I'm saying? They must spread jealousy and hatred and the same way man are do it. Some of them are, you know, some of us are claiming all this stuff is around being neurotic. You know what I mean? Victim mentality. You know what I mean? Can't move, too inflexible, stiff. You know what I mean? I'm not being, you know what I mean? I'm trying to say that you can't get too like mad because if you will go mad. You will go mad. It's like they've got us away, bro. You know,
speak on the victim mentality, X.
Like
speak on the victim as it manifests itself.
Eh? Yeah.
As it manifests itself.
Why? A bad mind. You know, a bad man. Learn to count, you fucking idiot. You know what I'm saying? Learn to read and write, but bad mind, you read. You know what I'm saying? They don't want to do that. They don't want to. There's guys right now in their 40s and 50s, they can't read. Then they built houses and they can't read. But they feel the shame. All this stuff is shame and guilt, which is also a part of being too much of that. Yeah. So now, like they're playing, why they're gonna fight against me? What? Because you can't add and take away properly, brother. So they're manipulating you. Learn something, then, innit? Why they gonna try fight me down for what? Because you said that you sung a song about some fuckery, like you know, I'll tell you who's playing victim right now. R. Kelly. You know what I'm saying? And in the 6th of December. Sorry, the 6th of December, the 6th of March 2019, he's on television bawling, saying, why? He's saying, what do you mean, well, I've seen a picture of them, yeah? You never thought about seeing a picture of them, yeah? When they stopped you the first time and pissing on that chick, yeah? You never thought about that, but now you're in a situation where your whole life is turned up, now you're bawling.
You fucked up quite. From one of his earliest hits is with a young thing screaming AJ nothing but a number.
These are things that
down in nothing but a thing. I'm like, yo, what's my man on, fam?
I used to love that song. I didn't realize it was a little pedo thing though.
Yeah, some pedophile thing, man.
Yeah, I thought it was like you could be like 20 and the chick be like 18 or you'd be 20.
Nah, Ali was a young thing them time there, fam. Ali was a young.
17 and the chick is 12, bro.
What thing?
You know, you're 20 and the chick is 15. Not
that's what I'm saying. The idea didn't even come into man's mind. Come on, ain't thinking like that. You get me?
No one's thinking like that. Amongst me, not amongst round we was about. You know what I mean?
He was like, yeah.
Pedo mentality to England. The fucking Jamaicans did. They brought a bag of pedo did. You know what I'm saying? When they're coming, I see them hanging outside of schools. What are you talking about? A man can't tell me. I see them looking for little young, and we're saying, and other. That's what outcomes. There was a lot of clashes between English youths and Jamaican youths because other English youths said, "What are you not dealing with? You can't deal with that around here, brother. Move from here with that." That's where the clash came from. A lot of
that's supposed to be.
Where you going with your old ass fucking self? Move from around here, brother. And there was a lot of clashing. I remember them days.
That's supposed to be a big problem. That's supposed to be one big problem in Jamaica. Well, incest, fam. Like the dads moving to their own daughters and that.
Listen. I used to date a Jamaican girl and she told me about that. You know what I'm saying? Her cousin. You understand? You know what I mean? I'm not saying they all do it. I'm saying that I remember when it was brought here. We wasn't on that around here. I remember when that was brought here with that wave of Jamaicans. I don't care what the fuck you call them yards, you call them what you want. There's Jamaicans, I'm talking, that's where they came from. You understand? Not all of the Jamaicans clearly, but Jamaicans, again, like I'm saying, Jamaicans. Jamaican men, Jamaican women. You know what I'm saying? Not all Jamaican men clearly, again, someone on stupid. You know what I'm saying? But it was that little, and then at the same time, little Fort, they had the scandal with the man them trying to grind young girls on the buses in Jamaica. I mean, it's not new. It's nothing I'm making up. You if you're stupid, then you ain't gonna know it. You know what I'm saying? If you're stupid and you're neurotic, you're gonna say, "What? The man that easily offended." This is what easily offended is now. A man's gonna jump up and say, "The man that don't know nothing." Oh, the man that and one brother.
Yo, I get angry like man want to box man over the internet, fam. If they hear you talking now.
Yeah, say it again.
I said, man will get angry like they want to box you over the internet if they hear you talking
Yeah,
now.
they want to push their foot through the internet screen. You know what I'm saying? Like, force the wall. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Because they're neurotic. That's what I'm saying to you. They've got no control over their emotions. They drink. I remember years ago I did a show and I said that they were burning. They kept talking about how they're burning the wheat fields in Jamaica and this, that, and the other, and they're burning this. And I'm saying and people saying to me, they're not gonna legalize weed. I said they are gonna legalize weed. You know what I'm saying? I said weed. I used to say weed is not to smoke anyway because it fucks up your lungs. You know what I'm saying? Weed is an herb. It's people don't smoke. Why don't you smoke chamomile? You know what I'm saying? Why don't you smoke? They're all herbs. Why are you smoking? Who told you that it's all right to smoke weed? You know what I'm saying?
You're supposed to boil that and drink that and all that.
Yeah, because it's a herb like the rest of the herbs. Why don't you drink? Why don't you smoke mint then? It's a herb. You can't have one. You know what I'm saying? It's not specially made to smoke. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, so I was saying to them that what's going to happen is that what they're trying to do is that they don't want black people to make no money. So what they're doing, remember, this is 2003. They're burning down the weed fields, so you know they're making a change. They were the soldiers. I said, why would you employ all these people to burn down weed? That means something else is going on in the future because they're putting money behind it, right? So they burn down all the weed fields and spray them with pestilence. You know what I'm saying? What pestilence? What's the word again? Pesticide. I can feel pestilence. Yeah, pesticide. Yeah. So they can't. Some of the time they're still desperate and they're selling the pesticide weed. You know what I'm saying? This is what the USA government was doing. Then, so now they fucked up their whole way of making living. And now look, white rich man is making money off weed now. Man who's already got money is making money. So the average man is still back where he was. You know what I'm saying? The average farm grower is still back where he was. This is how they live. This is how these people are.
I heard them talking about that on, I think it was Joe Rogan's show. One brother was talking about how everything's getting legalized now. Some white brothers talking still, and you're saying the people that's making the money now. He used to shot it like underground, innit? Obviously when it was illegal. You get me? He said they ain't even know. It's hardly any point in doing it now. Like, it's legal, fam. Like the profit margins are so ridiculous, like ridiculously small. It's like it's no point. You might as well do something else with your money. You get me? He said it was better when it was underground. It's a mad thing still. If that's how man's talking, that's doing it legally and doing it large on a large scale.
And it's controlled by the people who already had money in the first place off of slavery and all kinds of other businesses. Hand me down money from slavery and all that, from sugar and from cane and from cotton and from whiskey and from alcohol. Their families. You know what I'm saying? These people who wake up and spend 32 grand a year to send their children to Yale, Harvard. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff. You have a guy who went to an expensive black college, Morehouse. What's his name? And Spike Lee. And then he jumps up on another brother when white people give him an award and claims that he's a black activist. They're all fake, brother. Don't you understand? We're living. They're neurotic. He's neurotic as well. Because 1 minute he's cussing off white people, and the next minute he wants award from them. 1 minute he's cussing off a black film, then next minute he wants to go back to making black film after he once said that he's a black filmmaker. He's not a black filmmaker. He's a filmmaker that happens to be black.
You said that Spike Lee.
That Spike Lee, yeah, that went off him. I said, this cunt. You know what I mean? Because he made a couple of white films, but when he realized that they weren't giving them more money, he's going to go fund me to get money from people.
Yeah.
These are the type of black men that you have who are claiming to be black men. They don't give a shit about black people. They give a shit about their standard of living. That's why there's no movement. That's why there's no rebellion. There's no real resistance. You know what I'm saying? Because everybody, as soon as the money comes, everybody switch off. Oh shit, I got some money. Fuck all that talking about. Common, all these guys, as soon as the money comes, he's now an actor. He ain't caring about black fucking rights anymore. I got money now, brother. Fuck the rights. You understand what I'm saying, bro? No one gives a shit about your rights. You know what I'm saying? As a black man, no one gives a shit. Or a black woman. It's only, it's just us talking to each other and da-da-da-da, but they're fucking us up in schools, all over. You see, the thing is that it's not, with the internet, you can see now it's not just here they're doing it. They're doing it in Canada, in Australia, in France, in how is that they're not racist? How is that white people are not genetically racist or predispositioned to be racist? If that's everywhere over the planet, all Europeans are doing exactly the same thing. I don't understand how anybody could, you can argue the theory, because remember, it's a theory. I'm not stating a fact. You know what I'm saying? I'm stating my theoretical point of view. You get what that means?
Mm.
You get what that means, Lee? That means
Yeah.
I'm hypothesizing. That means that I'm gathering information.
Let me know when you're ready to open up the lines for white people to come and defend themselves. Innit?
Anybody want to come defend the need for defense, yeah? So that's what I'm doing. I'm hypothesizing. You know what I'm saying? That I'm coming to a conclusion, and these are the taglines I'm using. These are the information that I'm using to come to that conclusion. You understand? That's what people do in a sort of a debate forum, or I don't know, a pseudo-scientific forum or whatever. You understand what I'm saying? That's what people do. So I must be able to do that too. Yes. So that doesn't mean I'm racist. It means I'm coming to a conclusion based upon the information that's presented to me. And when I see that you're doing the same things all over the world, in every town there's drugs, and even when there wasn't drugs, all of a sudden drugs appear. Even when there wasn't guns, all of a sudden guns appear. Do you think, as we speak now, you know what I'm saying, in March 2029, do you think in another 10 years that police won't have guns? In 10 years' time, I almost guarantee that the police on the street will have guns, because they're going to create an environment where they can have guns, because they're connected to America now. So America, Smith and Wesson, because remember, they're a cold-blooded, business-orientated group. So Smith and Wesson and all these other, they're going to want a further way. So they're going to open up a whole new market in Britain. And they're going to make sure they have the right type of prime minister at the time to say, yeah, because of these types, and what's going to happen is that some people are going to come with some big guns in some protracted thing. It's like David Icke said, problem, reaction, solution. And then they say, well, I think police should have guns. Yeah. Next thing, you know what I'm saying? That's how it's going to go. So now Smith and Wesson or whoever that they're going to deal with is going to have this big contract with the police over here, because they've already got obviously a small contract with these other. Now, with every policeman we have, and you imagine how much revenue that's bringing over to that same company, who's got shareholders. You know what I'm saying? This is how they operate. This is what they do. This is what they do throughout the continent. It's not new. This is not something I'm making. This is how they operate. So you don't have no chance of getting nowhere, because they need you to keep committing crime, so they can bring in those as they get out of Brexit. And remember, I said this years ago. I said they were going to leave. They were going to join onto America. All of this is documented in my lectures that I've said on the radio or whatever. They're going to leave America. And this was years before, but I don't know how they're going to do it, because
you're saying they want to make an official Britain and America union type thing.
They're the same people. British people are American. The British people, the American people are British descendants. So why wouldn't they? Are we clear? Are we clear that we are African descendants? Are we clear about that?
That we're African descendants?
Yeah.
Me personally,
we're the descendants of Africans. Are we clear about that? Most of us.
Yeah.
Or most of us
I would say most of us believe that's the case. Yeah.
Right. See. So
the story of America and England, like the creation of America, that come through like in-house war, in it. So I don't know how deep the wounds are for them to wanna. But yeah, ain't gonna front still. Right now, it looks like everyone's like on this America-England union thing still.
Right. So this is a longer time. So we're clear then that we are descendants of Africa. Most of us, even if we're not clear, we have an idea that we came via the slave ships, and we. You know what I mean? So how did white people get to America? From Britain. So therefore, their descendants are British. So we are African. You know what I'm saying? The descendants of African. They're the descendants of the British. So they're basically the same people. You understand what I'm saying? America, Australia, who's on their coins? The Queen of England. You understand what I'm saying? They're all the same people. And what do? They wiped out the entire race of Australians, black Australians. Because the moment, for me personally, and I'm talking about me personally, the name African, no, I'm not really. I'm saying we're human. We are the first human beings on the earth. We're not Africans. Africa came later. We are the first creation. Whoever created us for this planet. We are the solar beings. We are the soul people. You understand? We're the people of the sun. And they are not the people of the sun. So where the fuck did you lot come from, bruh? Oh, one man met them. I know kind of whatever you want to say. But there's lots of more time to talk about that. But you got what I'm trying to say, bro.
Hey, people's in the comments.
Why is everywhere we was first? Why is there none of us left? Why are there no black Japanese? That, you know what I mean, like in numbers. Why are there no, if these people are so great, why are there no black Chinese in numbers? If they live under a red sun? Well, I don't understand. No, sorry, that's the Japanese. Who's under the red sun? I think it's the Japanese. You know what I'm saying? Why is there not? Why do these people wear the Mexicans all of a sudden start to wear sombreros to shade from the sun? The white people start to wear baseball hats to shade from the sun. The Chinese start to wear these. I forgot the name of their thing that they wear to shade from the sun.
They wear umbrella as well still.
You name me a black people that shade from the sun somewhere. I don't know any. I mean, I'm not saying that there might not be someone, but nowhere on the planet Earth regularly do black people wear stuff on their head to shade them from the sun.
Hey, yo, we saying for people in the comments, some people are saying bring back stop and search, innit? What are you saying to that?
They have brought it back. What are you fucking talking about? What
they want to see more. They want to see more in it. Say again. Huh? Say again.
What kind of talk is that? It's already back. What are they talking about? Bring back stop and search. Is that trolling?
I don't know. I think they want to see more. Because there's been debate now. There's been debates on TV about increasing the stop and search, innit?
That's not for us to debate, though. That's for some white people to debate on TV. That's not for me and you. This is Ghettoology. This isn't that full debate. I've told you what they're doing. They have no intention of changing anything. So we can't. You and I cannot be in that debate. That's a debate for TV and for the stupid people who believe in that state of being. I'm telling you what they're doing. So we can't now. You know what I'm saying? It's like it's a juxtaposition. We can't argue that because that doesn't make sense according to our stance. They're not going to change nothing. Stop and search, bring back. So why? You know what I mean? Why are you bringing back something and you didn't clear it up in the first place? Should you bring back measles? Should you know what I mean? I don't understand. Should you bring back? You want to bring back stuff that you never cleared up. You don't bring back stuff that you cleared up. Why are you living in a hostile environment? Why is there still a hostile environment exist where young people want to work with knives? You ban knives. You say that you can only walk with a 3-inch knife, but people are still getting stabbed. No matter what they do, they don't do things to stop that. They do things, like to you know what I mean, like to I don't know what they like to antagonize the situation. You know what I mean? They don't spend billions of pounds in making places where people can get jobs. You know what I'm saying? They pay billions of pounds to penalize people. We live in a penal colony. So why would I be arguing? Why would I be trying to discuss about bring back stop and search? What would that mean for me or us? What about start something new? Why would I? You know what I'm saying? Can you see the racism? I don't know whether they're black or white. Can you see the racism in what they're saying? Can you see the inability to want to see something different, but want the same old to come back? Instead of suggesting a new idea, they want to suggest the old idea. And guess what? Answer me this question? I don't know. I won't even do that. Did the old idea?
Don't mind, you can ask,
Yeah.
I say you can ask, I ain't frightened.
Did the old idea work in the first place?
You stop and search?
Yeah.
No.
So why would you bring it back? Come on, bro. These people are chatting shit. If the old idea, all right then. If I try.
What happened as a result of the what was that? The sus law thing? Was it them time there when they went hard with the stop and search?
Right. Okay.
It just turned into a riot, didn't it?
Right. Yeah. Did it work?
Because a bag of innocent people was getting treated like they're criminal.
Exactly.
In order to save society from the supposed bad ones who they're trying to target.
Right. So did it work? That's all I'm asking. No. Did it fucking work?
No. The counter effects still.
We bring back something that never worked in the first place. Yeah. Good. And then it will be like, well, it's better that than nothing, then, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah. Or bring back more jails because that's better. You got to lock them up, isn't it? It's better that than nothing. Yeah. Because that's the only thing they can suggest. They are a cruel and wicked race. Yeah. Their acts of cruelty is world renowned. Is historically documented. Talking about. You know what I'm saying? If people want to respect them because they go, good morning, have a happy day. Yeah. Yeah, have a nice rest of all that little fake stuff that you're hearing now that they already shipped in from America, that they're gonna put on the machines when you tap out the machines in the shops, when they make redundant tens of thousands of retail assistants. Have a happy day. A machine I tell you for have a happy day. So you can't get a job, but you must have a happy day. You know, see, I'm not in the argument, bro. Some other, I'm not saying, bring us something more sensible to the understanding of the state of the steam of the state. Sorry, of the content of what we're talking about. Not some little make believe, BBC, ITV talk, because it's not relevant to this talk. You know what I'm saying? The other one is you know what the other one is? Solution. What's your solution? Like,
let them know what you're here to do again, X. Enough people will be asking for that still. Solution. What's your solution?
Yeah, there's no fucking solution, bro. I'm here to make awareness. You understand?
When you say that, I know I burn people's skins still.
And there's no solution, bro. It's simple. Like, they're stupid. That's why. You know what I'm saying? I don't mean it literally everybody. I'm just saying that if you see that a so-called mixed race black man come and say he hasn't done fuck all to change the state of black people, why are you asking? You see, these are the demons. These are the demons that are mixed in with us, trying to stir up trouble. You know what I mean? The little kind of demonic mindsets and the little demonic spirits that are there. They don't want no answers. They just want to keep stirring trouble. Because if you, I've been doing this.
Everybody come up with a question like that, or a question that might sound stupid.
I can't hear you, bro. You've gone faint.
Oh, my bad. I'm waiting for the computer. You can hear me?
No,
you can hear me?
I can hear you, but very faint.
One sec. Let me turn on my mic. 1 sec.
Hello?
Yo, you can hear me now?
Yeah.
I was saying I wouldn't say everybody who might ask a foolish question or what might seem like a foolish question is deliberately trying to be antagonistic, or some people might just it's like I feel like I told my brethren as well, sometimes they complain about people. I was like, you have to remember from that at one stage you was a learner driver. It was like you're stuck behind a learner driver, you get frustrated easy, you get me, because the level of intelligence what you're on. But one time you was a learner driver, you get me?
That's not growth, that's not development, that's when you're stuck in a neurotic state. Because it's fundamental that you should understand that, isn't it? When you have a child, don't you fundamentally understand that he doesn't know nothing? Only mad people will beat their child to a pulp because they're stupid. If your child doesn't understand not to go to the fire, do you beat it and kill it? Do you kick it over? Or do you say, no, don't go to the fire? So if you had the driving lesson and then you're somebody stuck in front of you and you want to go somewhere, don't you don't breathe. Your breathing is all fucked up. So well, up to them people, they need to get out of the way because you're fucked up. You're neurotic. You know what I'm saying? You haven't learned that. You haven't, whatever's pressuring you in your life, whether it's money, gal, whatever, you haven't learned to control yourself. Because nothing about this lifestyle teaches you self-control. Show me what? Where do we go to learn self-control, brother? Show me the shop or the place that says this is a place where you learn self-control, or you understand what growth and becoming
from 8 to 11 on COE from Wednesdays.
There you go.
That's where you go, yeah.
Well, there you go. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's something that says that, like, you're not supposed to be behaving like that. I got like 35-year-old man saying, look what them girl there. You're a big rass, man. You're not a picnic. You're not a dunce. All these guys that coming from Jamaica, they're dunce. They don't know. They can't barely fucking read. I don't give a fuck what none of them think. You know what I'm saying? They can barely fucking read. That's why they're jumping from woman to woman and spreading these type of children about the place who end up being murderers. They got no sense of responsibility. That's like a child's mind. You get what I'm trying to say? If you're gonna do that, then you must have money. They don't even have time to give the youth. So what character traits does that you have? What personality traits does that you gonna have when he doesn't even know who the other half of his life is? You cannot just breed kids. This is the 21st century. Them have DNA. Them have all kind of. Them have internet. They've gone to a next level. You still a breed like it in the 60s, like not like it just come out of slavery. You're white in your skin. They're doing a bag of things that's just bare fuckery, and it's based upon the dunce of the. I remember I saw a video the other day, and a girl said, Jamaican woman said, "Me dunce like bat," and I spread that. So,
you say she bragging about that. The something to brag about.
How dunce she was, yeah. That's how arrogant they've become. That they all it is about money. Nobody cares about personality and development of self. And no, they just want money. And as long as they got money, they can say what the hell they want and do what the hell they want. And the drugs bring in that, because it's not going to be normal money. I mean, they got, you know, she's talking about how she's got next titty is, she got false tits in and shit like that. It's embarrassing. What must I do with that? You know what I'm saying? Because remember, I'm looking for a better world for my kids to grow up with, or their kids to grow up with. I'm not, or their kids to grow up with. I'm looking for a world where guys have got to wake up one day and adopt a different character. Remember, a personality chance, as I said, is a pattern of behavior that's developed from you're young, and when you reach a certain age, it stabilizes. So why isn't all these bad men like as adults? Why don't they have become stable adults? Because that's not their real character. That's their survival character on the so-called hostile environment that the whole system takes part in making. How do you create enough? You think what it's just black people create a hostile environment? If you got a baby and you live in the ends where people are having children by base and taking care of them and teaching them values and all that, what's the value that teaches them to stab each other? Who teaches them that value? Who teaches them that if a boy says something to you, stab him in his wrath? Who teaches that value? That value is taught on music. You know, when you sitting down there and his mum hasn't talked to him for the past 3 days except get up and go to school, or his dad, he hasn't seen his dad in the past 4 years, whose values is he listening to now? It doesn't take a brain box to work that shit out, but because we are under control of a white racist society, and they can say what they want. We go to their schools and all that, but the racism is just on different levels. It's not like racism of chattel slavery. Because remember, we moved out of being treated as animals to be treated as fodder. You know, like we talk every time I do a show, I'll probably have to mention this. You see a man as a member of this government, yeah, you are an employee of the government, and you see a guy with his head down sleeping in a car, and you empty your entire clip, 16, 13 shots into this brother, and nobody calls that murder. Nobody says there's something wrong with that officer. He's psychotic. But when you see them do training, nobody in their training empties 13 guns into a stand-up target. Nobody. So how do you end up getting 13 shots into, and nobody questions that? You know what I'm saying? That you're living in a world where the powerful blacks are cowards. Ride or die, my fucking ass. The powerful blacks are the most cowardly people that you're going to find. They're the most Uncle Tom that you're going to find, because they're not going to do anything. They're not going to lead their people to do anything that's going to challenge that status quo. Any man on the planet at any point in time should not be allowed to empty his entire gun into another human being. That's not a fucking, what is he, a monster? You know what I'm saying? Well, how is he? 25 foot tall? You know what I mean? That's kind of bullets you empty into something that look like King Kong. A little boy that's, you know, a little man that's, you know, probably weighs about fucking 12, 13 stone. You're emptying your entire gun inside of him. Till the gun got clipped and can't fight and click, nothing left in it. And you believe that's a human being that doing that to another human being. They're inhumane. And you know what inhumane means? It means non-human. Yeah, look now, let them look it up in their dictionary. Google it. Inhumane means non-human. We're dealing with a race that seems typically alien to this fucking planet. That's what I'm saying. So when we're talking about sexual dysfunction, that's neuroticism as well. That's a part of it. You know what I'm saying? Anger and rage, paranoia is what black people seem to be, and defensive. What are you saying? You know, we're always under it because nobody's teaching nothing else. There is no teaching. There's no teaching in the music. There's nothing. The music is telling people to be reckless and worthless as long as money's coming in. So a woman could go on the internet, on her Instagram, and say, I'm a dunce. And I like being dunce. So what if I can't read? At least I can spell my name. That's what she goes on the internet and says in the 21st century. Because it's gotten to that stage where people can show off their dunceness as long as they got money. You understand what I'm saying? People are pretending to be something that they're not. Loads of youths are faking their badness. Lots of them. It's almost like you got the lion, what they call the alpha male, and you got the werewolf. Not the werewolf, the hyena, which is more of a beta sort of species, that's sort of alpha species, should I say? Like the lion is an alpha species, the fucking hyena is a beta species. Now, in the human kingdom, such as speaking, you got the alpha species male who's being trodden down by the alpha species white male because he doesn't want that male to exist because it threatens his existence. So what he does, he challenges the beta species male, which is the hyena, to be like the lion. What happened when the hyena took over in the Lion King? I know it sounds fucked up, bro. I don't know if you've seen the Lion King, yeah?
Yeah, I see that still.
Everything got fucked. When the hyenas took over in the Lion King, these are things that people to watch to get the analogy of what I'm saying, yeah? The whole place got fucked up, you know what I'm saying? Because they ain't got a clue. So with all these little beta males, they operate in packs. So a hyena would never come up against a lion by himself. He's either going to run up on you and bust a shot after you when you're not looking, you know what I'm saying? Or he's got to have a dozen of his other man. That's how hyenas operate. Yeah, the hyena will bite and run. When the lion chomps down on you and will run until you're dead, the hyena is not holding on to no lion with no bite. He's going to bite and get the fuck out. He's going to bolt. Yeah, some UC thing, and then be laughing and calling brethren them, yeah? And or they're going to attack you when you're weak. So you've got the hyena, the species B mentality and the species A mentality. So the white people them are trying to shut down the species A mentality with the adults. That's why they attacked a lot of these singers are talking about homosexuality and blah blah blah. They attack them.
You're talking about the bashment DJ. You're talking about the bashment DJs then? Yeah,
the ones before, not like now, but before they shut them down. All the cable turns and the bounty killers. They shut them down. They're not.
Vibes Cartel. Remember they made Vibes Cartel apologize. Well, I can't say they made them.
All the people that wanted more money apologize. Yeah. Beanie Man vibes, all the people that was showing the alpha mentality, like the Beanie Man.
That's what I'm saying. That's when they realize. He's a real bad man still.
Yeah, that's
when man come and tell you what to say, otherwise they're gonna take away this and that. And man start.
Yeah, keep it. These guys, they want more. These guys, they're not alpha. They can say what they want. It doesn't matter who rates them. It's just like you have to be able to. I think it's important to look at certain things and make certain comparisons. The alpha male would have never done that. He'd have said, and there's not. What they do is what they work hard at doing is that the oppressive white culture is focusing on the alpha male. The black alpha male has always done that. This is why. I
don't think Sizzla had it though. I don't think EK did. He was like apologize to what? Them to apologize to Joe. Rasta man don't apologize to nobody, boy. If you get King Selassie, I'm gonna shot your boy.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? I'm not sure what he done, but you know what I'm saying. But then in
Jamaica, remember he had a fort like they come to his parish. Where is it? Augustus or something like that. And they come. He had one watchtower thing, and the police had to come there and mash it up. Still, like he was trying to lock down his ends differently on this military thing. You get me?
Yeah. I mean, they caught him with a bag of guns as well, didn't they?
I don't know. Recently, I ain't been keeping up.
They raided his what was it called again? The place I'm calling. I forgot the
August Town, man.
Yeah, but
Judgment Yard.
No, there's another name. Something Hill. Is it something Hill?
I don't know. I know you call this place Judgment Yard still.
Yeah, but there's a name. There's another name that goes with that. I can't. It doesn't come to mind at the moment. But yeah, I mean, as I said, the level of quick to rage, the level of quick temperedness in our community is neurotic. You know what I'm saying? Like, remember I was saying that, like, with the adults that came here, they didn't have time to teach their children that. They mostly didn't know anything. These are people that just came out of slavery. There's a few of us who obviously might have known some stuff. But
man said Baba Hill still.
Baba, yes, straight. That's it. Yeah, I mean, that's what they used to call it. Yeah.
African 5. So that's still in the comments.
Yeah, right. So you get what I'm saying? So what was I saying? Yeah, the parents that came here didn't know much. They didn't know what to teach. What could they have taught? They don't know anything. Even parents now in your age group and all that, they don't know shit. What they fucking know about teaching their children how to grow? They grow them and send them to school. They don't know what to tell them because some of them don't have no culture. All they know is black, but they don't know anything about their history. They don't know what to tell them. They got no books except for Jack and Jill, or Jack was with Jack and had Jill. You know what I'm saying? They don't know what to tell them. How are you ready for parenthood and you don't know nothing except for what you see on the telly? You know what I'm saying? It's just going around in a circle. People are still doing the same thing. And the only places you get to tell to be real is places like this. And this is what they're going to try to lock off because they want to control everything that you do. So you'll never have this type of conversation or this type of statement on the TV because they need to keep this away from They can't defend themselves against this type of statements. You know what I'm saying? They need to always, like, when they have somebody on the TV, they need to, whoever they, these are the what they call it. These are the templates they use. Whoever they bring in, they have to be able to put in their place. You know what I'm saying? They're not going to bring in a person that's going to challenge the host and make the host look kind of stupid. So the person they bring in, they're always going to target somebody who they can, unless you slip in under the radar, and they don't realize you're there, and then frightened. They go, oh, and they try to style it. That's the only way you get in, because they have the research in the first hand. The researchers in the first place ask you questions to make sure that you know what I'm saying, you don't
try and gauge your
that's right.
personality to see what you're capable of doing. So what you think about a caller?
Yeah, very, like, again, a nice mixed race brother. You know what I'm saying? He suits that thing. He come off the back of his sister. He was definite to get through, because they can recognize, even though he's a champion for the black cause, they can recognize the white in him. I said that's the only. I always say this is the only people that they seem to want up front. There's two types of people they want up front: black people with white people, and mixed race people with white in them. That's it. Say what you want. If they're black, you can guarantee they're black.
When you say black people with white people, you mean in a relationship with a white person?
Yeah, that's the only people they let through. Black men with white women, or black women with white men, or a mixed race person who's got a white father or mother. Those are the only people that they let through. You need to start name some, so they can look smart.
Yeah.
And that's done. If you're not a jigaboo, you're not getting through neither. They have.
But I got an award. I got an award the other day for best speakers corner channel.
Wicked.
From Raj. We got Raj. He's one of the attendees that go to speakers corner. Still, he just gave out awards to people.
Good for him.
It's a job thing still. Yeah. He still recognized man.
Yeah, of course. I mean, like, you're an entrepreneur. You know what I'm saying? This is what an entrepreneur is. An entrepreneur isn't a guy that starts a business. An entrepreneur is a guy who funds himself and controls everything to do with his business. That's an entrepreneur. Nobody who lends themselves out or license themselves. That's not how but again, like, in our community, everybody's looking for. That's the same thing with being neurotic. The overly, grandeur and bigging up of everything. Just over patting each other on the back, and you know what I'm saying. That's not what entrepreneur is. You know what I'm saying? You're an entrepreneur. That's what you're doing, is entrepreneurial. No black boy thought of doing what you've just done. No black brother. You know what I'm saying? You did it all by yourself, just with your own, and you fund yourself. You know what I'm saying? Obviously, you're getting money in, but it's still funding you. You're in control of it. Nobody's not in control of you. The moment you work for somebody, or then you're not an entrepreneur. Well, I mean, once you start as an entrepreneur and then you obviously evolve, that's different. I'm talking about these people that go straight to being licensed from whatever. They're not entrepreneurs. Yeah. Not an entrepreneur. You're just a businessman. You just started a business. But again, everybody wants to sound grand. Instead of just saying I'm a businessman, I'm an entrepreneur, or I'm a CEO, or anything to make themselves sound grand, rather than I run a business, I own a business. Say that. Sure. It's simple. Like, nobody needs to know all that them acronyms to make it seem like you're bigger than you are. I mean, what was it? Was it turning over 700,000 a year? What, $500,000 a year? You say I'm a CEO of a company. How much is your turnover? 10 grand, 15. Okay, good. No disrespect, but CEO. Why you just say you own a business? I'm saying, when you hit 100 grand, and you say, yeah, I'm a CEO. I'm like, I'm flossing. I got like, 150 employers, or employees. So I didn't talk about that. But when you're talking about, I got me and my brethren, and I'm a CEO. Like, come on.
It don't really mean that, yeah. For it don't really mean it's like the same thing with everyone calling themselves kings and queens as well. Still,
yes, and all of this is unnecessary.
It don't mean nothing if everyone can't be a king and queen, fam. God, then who's gonna be the subjects?
Exactly. It's a poverty of mind that you're showing. You're expressing to the world that you are in a poor state of mind, and this is how you jack up your state of mind, by stating that you are something that you're not, and you can't be. You can't be a king of your house. You can't be the king of the road. You can't be. You're just a brother. And people, you can't name yourself king. You know what I mean? Somebody's got to, be. You can say, yeah, what I'm king. I mean, it's like nicknames, and people that are not that bright that come up with these stuff. These are not the brightest people that come up with all these nicknames. It's just like quick stuff. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not dissing. I'm just saying that's that's the reality of it. You know what I'm saying? An emperor, an emperor. Like, bruv, Bruv, you're not that. You know what I'm saying? You've got nothing in your whole entire system resembles kingship. Or you know what I'm saying? So what, if you wear a wrap around your head, you're a king? Like what? I mean, like, you know what I'm saying? Defend that to me. Defend that to me. Get into a political or argumentative and defend your head wrap as you being a king. It's a title. So what am I? I'm a superhero then. Yeah, what I'm superhero? Yeah, wicked.
Yo, I'm gonna bust that next time still. I'm gonna bust that still. I'm
You
gonna
know
bring
what I
that.
mean? You know what I mean? Like, how the fuck? You know what I mean? Just name yourself what the fuck you want. You know what I'm saying? What I'm Superman, what I'm Batman, what I'm Green Lantern. Name yourself what the fuck you want then. Because like you don't have to except for the fact you want to name yourself, you don't have to define nothing else. I'm gonna call myself that because I feel like we are kings and queens. No. What you're saying, how it breaks down is that you came from a land that had its own kings and queens. You weren't all kings and queens. You came from a land because you was obviously enslaved later down, and your history was robbed from you, and that and thrown away, and pretended that you didn't have one. So you woke up one day and like these great, like Ivan Van Sertin, man, he's great, and Jay Rogers and all these great men who took the time out of their life instead of bunning weed and looking to fuck gal, decided to dedicate their life to trying to find out about their people. You know what I'm saying? And brought this forward so that you could say, oh shit, we come from a land of kings and queens. You know what I'm saying? We come from a land where we were ruled over by black kings and queens. Not from a land where everybody in that land was kings and queens. What land was that? That was fairyland, bro. That's cartoon land. There ain't no land on the planet like that. Ever in history. Never. There's never been a place like that where everybody was kings and queens. It doesn't exist. That means you're in some dream world. That's a neurotic state, bro. You understand what I'm saying? You fantasize it.
Oh, yeah.
What are you on about? There's no place on the planet that's ever existed like that. So where are you getting that from?
Yeah, man saying in the comment. Can of people say? But I heard Mos Def back in the day. One of my favorite tunes still is like, I find it stressing. There's never no in between. We either niggas or kings. We either bitches or queens. It put things into perspective to me. Like for real, man always ignore the intricate details, fam. The nuances. Like these are what define us. These what help us to accurately more define us. You get me?
Bro, human beings and animals, right? They're the first creators on the planet. They don't know how to lie. Human beings really don't know. They've learned how to lie through the conquering of them by these other race of beings, these alien people that came to our lands, yeah? So that we were taught how to lie. The natural state of a lion or any other mammal on the planet, dolphin, anything like that, is to be itself. Lying isn't a fabric of what an animal knows how to do. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that they can't find ways to do things, but they'll learn stuff because they'll watch human beings. You know what I'm saying? Because they're mammals, so they can learn. But that's not their natural state. So what they will do on television is show you a deceitful animal, but they won't tell you that deceitful animal has spent a lot of time around fucking humans. You know what I'm saying? They won't show you that bit of it. Or God knows what they've done. But the state of a human mammals are usually quite to the point. I'm not saying they won't do anything slightly trickery, but that's not their life. This life is nothing but deception. They brought in so much. Their words are double standard. Their words are double meaning, triple meaning, quadruple meaning. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's the whole thing. And I mean, like, you're not going to be able to beat it like that. What I'm saying is that it's important to understand your state and your children's state. Because remember, as I'm saying, I'm about awareness. I'm about opening up the mindset for you to understand Wagwan. You know what I'm saying? For you to see that there's reality to your existence. It's not a fantasy. You know what I'm saying? You could, like as I was saying in the last show we did, like you can't wear a man's name. You can't wear a man's name across your forehead, Gucci, or anyone's name across your chest and feel like a man. That's a fucking hyena. That's a B species male, bro. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to wear next man's name across your thing unless you've lost sight of who you are. I'm not saying, like, don't get it twisted. I'm not saying that a man can't wear a little gesturing thing and, you know what I mean, and stuff that's got like a little design and all that. But when you're wearing a man's full name across your, come on, what are you saying? I'm a child of his, I'm a fan of his, or he's a better man than me, or I'm showing another man that I'm better than him with this name. What about your own fucking name? You know what I'm saying? What about your friend name? What about your own cultural name? Why is it some other man name from another culture? know what I'm saying? You're not showing, you're not giving your, so your money's going back to the culture of another race that enslaved you. You know what I'm saying? And you're scared of losing it. That's like Steve Harvey. Scared, he said, why would I do that? Why would I let my integrity rob me of money? You understand what I'm saying? This is the type of people we live
From
in.
Joe thing, fam. From day he's been on some washout thing though. Anyway, man, Steve Harvey.
He's got one where he's saying that for 10 million I'm scratching my ass and I'll
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, so,
You just let me know from early. I remember he done the thing about when anyone was talking about history or something like that. He said he'll interrupt the conversation. He said even if they ain't talking about it, he'll interrupt the conversation and say, "I don't care for slavery."
I don't give a damn about slavery. Yeah.
Some Joe thing, fam.
Like, that up myself.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. Man ain't got no, like you were saying earlier. Still, man can diss man's owner people as much as man want. Everybody will laugh after it, or just ignore it. There's no repercussions, basically. No repercussions.
Yeah,
you say the same level of fucking to anybody else, fam. It's a big problem, Your things getting shut down.
He's under the protectorate of the. This is why all the little snitches in the community, all the little fucking grind snitches and all the little grill snitches, they're able to do what they're able to do because at the end of the day, they're under the protection of the government. You know what I'm saying? All these soccer, CI, like whatever they are, plain clothes, whatever they are, detective, whatever they are, you know what I'm saying? They're under so that's why they feel so, like you think if he had to rely on black money, he'd be able to do that. You know what I'm saying? You think he'd be able to do that? No, he doesn't have to rely on black money. That's why he can do that. He now knows that he's in a position where he no longer has to rely on black money. And that's it. So that's so it's not, you can't blame him because he's one of them. More and more black people are becoming like them, and they don't care for the freedoms for black people. You know what I'm saying? They're going to vote in another white man. You know what I'm saying? They're going to get in America right now. They're going to get a whole bunch of black people behind this white man who's going to do nothing for black people, just like the rest of them. But he's just going to make a good talk, and he's going to make, because we're frightened, scared people that's scared of white people. We're not scared of anybody else but white people. You say something to a black man, he's looking to dig out your eye. A white man could disrespect him all he wants. He ain't gonna do nothing. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, not the white boy at school maybe he'd fight, but not anything that's adult. You know what I'm saying? He's afraid of him. You know what I'm saying? Like they brought the other day, they brought this dreadlocks guy who filmed some girl dying of an overdose. She took the drugs and he filmed her. And they put him up as some demon. You know what I'm saying? But the amount of things that these people do to each other on a weekly basis, on a daily basis, it pales in comparison. But it's him they're going to put on front page. You know what I'm saying? The racist stuff that Theresa May is doing, they don't put on front page because they're all in collusion. They're all the same when the dumbing down of the community over the last 15 years. I remember when I was saying, look, they're now putting out things to make people dumber. So they created that show, that all day show. What's that fucking show called with that girl said she didn't know where Surrey was. She thought it was another continent.
Oh no.
It's the one they put out all the time. Like what's it called? My brain just went blank, bro. like the same, like I'm a celebrity, get me out of here. Them type the one before that one.
Big Brother.
Big Brother, yeah, that's the one. Yeah, that one. When they start to do that, that's when they start to use that platform to make people look at dumb people as, and the girl that won that could barely read for that year. That's what they were starting to do. And then they made that dumb girl who could barely read, they made her a celebrity. And this is how, and somehow this is the opening up of what? What is this the opening up of? Stupid people are easily fooled because they're stupid. They're not that bright. So you can trick them easily. Like I have this, that I've got that jingle that says stupid people have stupid children. It is a fact. That was said by a white man. It's not said by a black man. It's said by a white man. Stupid people have. So if you're going to create a stupid environment, then you're going to get this. If you're going to create an environment, which, remember, music influences, quite clearly. See what I'm saying? So if you're going to create an environment where the music's all about murder and death of other black people, what do you think is going to come out at the end of it? And then all these guys that want to make money doing this, they're going to make excuses for the other men that are making money doing this. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And so basically, so then they sell that neurotic personality. They sell vindictiveness. Yeah, they sell all these addictions is a part of being in a neurotic state. So when people want to, get them, what's the other one? Marley Percocet, so now they're selling fucking drugs over the music. They're bigging up drugs, chemical drugs in the music, and nobody says nothing. I want it. Where's a white song like that in the charts? I haven't heard that brother sing a song like that. Even Eminem, I haven't heard none of the white boys sing these types of songs. I don't think they'd be able to get away with it. You're singing a song that celebrates the taking of drugs that get you addicted. Is that
Eminem used to promote that still?
What did he used to promote?
Remember he came up with a tune, Purple Hills, fam. Obviously, it was called Purple Pills, isn't it? Him and D12, like 12 of them was black brothers, though. Still ain't gonna front. But I
want to know context. Talking about white man singing a song and for white going in the charts that white people buy, for white people. You know what I'm saying? That says take drugs and get high, which is what black people in their songs are saying. You know what I'm saying? And like I said, that guilt and shame, all these things is a part of the neurotic state that black people are in. And a whole bunch of us are depressed. That's a whole nother, that's not the bad man set. That's a whole nother working class set of people that, that work going, good morning, hi, Alicia, hi. And then it all, but when they come out the door, like, fuck. You know what I'm saying? Well, I'm fucking clean up the fucking yard, your fucking stinking shoes and the fucking, you know what I'm saying? They're fucked. You know what I'm saying? They're fake. It's like it's one act for white people and then come home and fuck up your whole family and they ain't doing shit and they, whatever. You know what I mean? It's a whole bunch of that going on. This strange type of behavior that they don't seem that there's a maladjustment that's within the context of having a neurotic mindset. You know what I'm saying? And and you don't understand it because all these things you're seeing and you think it's black. It's not black. It's the subplot of this hostile society that they've created for us. That's why they're trying to move us. Anytime they move in, remember these are things happening all over the world. In America, in Kingston, in Jamaica, whatever. Anytime they move in, they move all the hostile people into a smaller hostile environment. So like they've done experiments on rats that says when you put rats together mice, when you put them together in a small environment, they scratch and bite each other. When you open the environment and make the environment wide, guess what happens? They don't scratch or bite each other anymore. So they know they have all the answers and they're not going to give you shit. They're not going to give you none of those answers. They rather spend instead of spending say like $500,000 to build a place of development and do it, they'd rather spend $2 billion on a prison. You know what I'm saying? That's how these people are made up, yeah? Because then they can make money off of that. They can't make money if you lot are not getting in trouble. If you lot are trying to reach a level where you can look white people in the eye and say, I'm just like you. I have the same risk. You know what I'm saying? What they want to spread is homosexuality. They want you to be more accepting of that. They want you to look at your children and say you don't know what sex you are. This is what they want us to learn. I mean, remember we wouldn't be so bad if we got one face.
Yeah, what happened in Birmingham, that school, where they was trying to introduce that into the curriculum for the.
And all the Muslims walked out.
Yeah. But the school said that they're gonna drop that from. They're gonna remove that from the curriculum still.
Yeah, if that was black people, they wouldn't have done that. There'll be some little infiltrator in there going, no, we don't want to do that because we don't want to cause trouble. No, we have to try and do it the right way. Yeah, we've got to say this. Yeah, but we need to say it this way. Yeah, no, don't cause trouble. No, because I will speak to them. Yeah, on the Black People's Forum. Yeah, that's what would happen with black people. Because if that wouldn't happen, then show me any other, because you can show me that example. Show me another example of what black people do in the same situation. And you can say, oh, as I get, because I've always had this, fighting against black people and all that. I'm just saying, because you become such liars and pretenders and fairy story believers, you don't want to hear the truth when you hear the truth. It's nothing to do with me hater. You know what I'm saying? I don't hate I don't move around white people. You know what I mean? I work for them and da. I mean, this is my life. My children are black. You know what I'm saying? Whatever. This is who I am. So I don't. That's not what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to make people understand what the truth is, different to what the lies are. I'm not trying to. You're not ride or dying nowhere around here, brother. You're killing each other because you're stupid. You're killing each other because you're short of temper. You know what I'm saying? You're killing each other because you've mixed in with the DNA of a demon and you've now become like them. You know what I'm saying? The horror and the terror that they subject, you're now spreading amongst each other because you've learned to be like them. Remember, there is no evidence in black historical accounts of black people beating each other, yeah, in any form of punishment until white people start to beat us. You understand what I'm saying? The way that they sorted out black people was by beating them. So the first set of beatings that we ever had was when white people conquered us and used us as their slaves. There is no historical documentation of us beating each other. The first time that the people of the Congo start to chop each other, what they're doing now, the first people to chop hands and feet off of black people, you know what I'm saying, was the Belgians, the white people. Yeah, anything that you see we doing, yeah, it was introduced to us by a violent, it's not a word that describes their utter depravity in terms of the violence towards other human beings on the planet or the black human being. There's no one word that can describe the single detriment that they've caused to us as a race on this planet. And they have no emotion. They're inhumane. They do inhumane acts to themselves and to other races. You know what I'm saying? Black races. So what? You know what I'm saying? This is what Chris Brown said. They always do shit to black and brown people. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. So I don't understand what it is what people are getting out of this, wanting to be like them from. Because the world is not going to become, the more you're like them, the world ain't going to become a better place being like them. I can guarantee you that. Because if it is, then show me how it's becoming a better place as we speak. All it is that there's a bag of people that are a long belly, you know what I'm saying, and greedy and want for themselves because they teach separatism. You know what I'm saying? The human instinct is about communalism. So they say, oh, you want to be a socialist, and then they break it down into their own little European style of how they break stuff down. You want to be a socialist, you want to be a communist, all that. But no, the human interaction of many of the tribes even today is social. Yeah, we are a social group, the original people of the planet. They've broken us down into individuals. So that all that rage and all that individualism becomes a part of who you are. You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? And you want just for you. So you want 15 cars if you got money. They have all this excess of way of giving one person excess of money so that other people can look at him or her and drool, just stand by them with their mouth open and water running from their mouth, just looking at the things that this person has. That's the development of what this conquering group have done to the planet. Meanwhile, they're poisoning the planet, injecting all sorts of shit and gunk into the planet. That's like, imagine the planet being a living organism, because Earth people are fed by Earth. We are the Earth beings. Black people are I call it solar beings, or the Earth people, or the Earth beings. We live from the Earth. We are fabricated from the Earth. You know what I'm saying? Zinc, copper, iron. You know what I'm saying? All manganese all comes from Earth, and it's in our bodies. Water all comes from Earth, and it's in our bodies. So you fuck up the Earth, you're basically creating a hostile environment for the people of Earth. You know what I'm saying? And this is what they're doing. So I don't understand you, because people can't they can't join the dots together. You know what I'm saying? And then there's a white person listening going, he's racist. Yeah, I'm not listening to him. Fuck him. Because it's killing them. You know what I'm saying? It's killing them. The realization of that is killing them. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not saying anything that's unreal. It's like, this is what you're doing as a race. And you can individualize, they can take themselves out of it. Well, I'm not racist. Well, I'm not doing that. I'm not poisoning the earth. I'm not creating GM food that's killing people. I'm not creating the vaccines. All of these have been done by white people. Autism. They have no conscience. You know what I'm saying? Autism and the rate that's risen amongst black youth is based upon the vaccination. You know what I'm saying? Clearly, it's these. I'm not doing the studies. I'm reading about the studies. You know what I'm saying?
How'd I go?
I'm not that guy.
How'd I go? How'd I go?
Sorry?
We say autism's linked to the vaccinations.
Yeah, their people have linked it to it. How the rise in autism has correlated with the rise in vaccines. The vaccines have one bag of shit in them. You know what I'm saying? They've got living virals in them anyway. You're gonna give your child a vaccine. You might as well spend the fucking coin, bro. You know what I'm saying? These are white people saying it. These are white people that they're trying to now change the law to force you to have them. Like as if, hold on a minute. I thought this was a democracy. Every day they're taking away more, and then they're going to bring out this other alien breed, wherever this alien breed is going to come from. Remember, when David Icke first came out and talked about white people being reptilian, you know what I'm saying? They laughed at him. What's he on about? Now he's talking to hundreds of thousands of people. They're blocking him from places in the world. They don't want him to talk. Now I'm saying there's lots in the historical documents of the world that's been removed, edited, or taken out. So what people are living with right now, especially black people who are sort of aware and awake, not woke, because that's some stupid people, yeah. But those that are aware and what you might call also conscious. There's so much other information other than just about Africans living in Africa that it would change the way a lot of people think, because they're not taking all the information in there, and that's fine. I think it's fine to just figure out your own information and stand by it. You know what I'm saying? But all in all, the truth of this planet is not being told. You understand what I'm saying? So what you're having now is you're having, again, in the neuroticism of the black man, you're having a lot of sexual dysfunction. Man, they want to take now. We never even had that before. Now man want to take blue pill and that. Now one's talking about they want one of them dummies that they can put their hood in. You know what I'm saying? That they're making in Japan, costing all that couple thousand. They want to grind an absolute plastic person. Now, if you think that's a great place to be, if people are there advertising there, if you can have sex with the dummy and she won't talk back and all that kind. If you think that somehow you are changing the concept of Wagwan, you're sick this is why you're sick. This is why when you say that's sick, yeah, that is. You're sick, bro. You know what I mean? How the earth are you now moving from a living being to an not even a real person? Who is that? Who are these colonizers of Earth that are creating an artificial environment and introducing artificial, what you call artifacts? You know what I mean? Who are these people? Who are these beings that are introducing, who are moving human beings off their own planet and replacing them with artificial life form? It's a depth that nobody's even bothered to go, because they're too stuck at fucking gal and people sending around big batty pictures of girl twerking with names written on their batty cheeks and all this stuff. Like, you pervert. Niggers are perverted now, bro. They become like perverts. Like back in the day, they used to have places in Soho where they used to go peep shows, where a man could go in there and have a look at mustard and look for a little old. Niggers have become like that. They're sucking each other's dicks off. You know what I'm saying? That I didn't even want to suck my dick again, because now that I've seen that Roadman, there's a thing going out of Roadman, so-called. Like I said to you about the hyena stuff, they're not Roadman. They're just guys who are criminals. You know what I'm saying? And they give themselves a name to join a particular a name brand. Yeah. Not all of these man them a Roadman. There's some regular guys that trying to floss. I see this thing about man filming man who's got their so-called hat back. I don't even know if it's homosexuals doing it and trying to find it. I don't know what's going on. But now that I've seen man sucking off man, I don't know a girl to suck my dick again, because I might blink and think, what the fuck? No, bro, that's done. You know what I mean? I said I'm not putting my tongue in the next girl's mouth to swallow her DNA. I'm not spit. You know what I'm saying? These things are not what you'd call African. These are not early human traits. There's nothing in early humanity that says we do this stuff. Yeah, nothing in the pyramids. Nothing. Bro.
Yo, X, it's coming up to 10 still, man. Man's gonna
quick, bro.
Yeah, somebody wanted to jump on still.
Yeah,
we saying to the cook, let them jump on yet.
Yeah, that's fine. I mean, I've got some more to say, but I'll throw it in as we go along. So good, bro.
Yeah.
Because we go man, still like we've got other stuff. Our shit's thick, bro. The thick ain't thin. Going to other avenues of our area. Yeah, but go on. I'm all good.
Yeah. I say now, yeah. Come on, can keep talking to that. I'm gonna send the link to my man still, and they can jump on. One white brother still is gonna come on and defend the thing still. I don't know what he's gonna do still. I don't know what he's gonna do still. Yeah.
We'll see what we'll see, and then whatever. But like I said, the like these traits that they've become a part. They're adaptations that we're picking up. They're not a lot of these people. Why I'm talking about the neurotic Negro is that he's overriding his personality traits and he's adapting characters. You know what I'm saying? That's like acting. So you're a good boy. You're up in a good household, and you know how to deal with things. You got strike, and then all of a sudden you're a bad man. You remember 15 years of your life. You was just all right, decent grades, whatever, not special. Then they hit 16, and now you're a road man or a bad man. That's not really possible. That's the adaptation of a character that you've seen on road, or you've seen someone, and you want to be like that because you feel to yourself you'll be more protected, and it sidelines the rest of your life. Sometimes there's some youths that can get away with it. That's by just fronting and going through until they reach where they need to reach, and like go past that like danger era between the age of say from about 13 to about 23, 25. It's kind of like the danger area for people just rolling up on you on road. Obviously, if we start to find that out, they're going to stretch it to like God knows. You're going to have big man in their 30s having war on road, because they're never ever going to leave you alone. They're never going to leave you comfortable with your development ever.
All right, cool. You got James in the chat now still. So yeah, James, what are you saying?
Hi Leon. Hi Dr. X. My name is James. I just wanted to come on because I heard a couple of claims and I just wanted a bit of clarification. First of all, what was the thing I maybe heard you say about like devil DNA or like demon DNA? Could you elaborate on that a little bit?
About what?
Did I hear you say something about like demon DNA kind of earlier?
No, I said something about demon DNA, but what I'm talking about is that a particular DNA that white people have it's not the same as blacks. It's not the same black DNA. I don't know. I'm not sure exactly what I said at the time, but yeah. What clarification are you looking for? That the race of human beings, remember, it's a hypothesis in my view that they have an anti-human sort of. They seem to have an anti-human stance on this planet. Like the early human beings, they wipe out and they replace themselves with a new history and a new status.
Okay, and does white people mean Europeans or?
Yeah, absolutely. Europeans and Europeans. I'm not sure. See, I'm not sure where they actually begin as Europeans, because I believe that a lot of the pale-skinned people there, you know what I'm saying, they're all related. Like the pale Europe, the white-skinned Arabs and the white-skinned Chinese and the white-skinned Koreans. I believe they're all related somehow. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so if, for example, Chinese people acted in an anti-human way, would you be tempted to say that they're white?
So would I be tempted to say? Clearly, clearly they're white. If you see, there's no Chinese in England that's yellow or brown. They're all white.
Okay, lots of people might think that Chinese people kind of have a more yellowish tone of skin.
No, where though? Where are you finding them? You're going to Canton. Where are you going?
More tanned in more sunny countries, so they'll be paler in kind of the UK than they would be in China. Is that what you're talking about?
No, what I'm saying, there's none in the UK. There's no yellow Chinese in the UK. They're all white Chinese.
What do you mean their skin is lighter than it is in China?
It's white, yeah. It's white, yeah. That's it. No, it's
okay.
Not. You got a whole bunch of 1 second. You got a whole bunch of ruling class in China that are white people. They're white-skinned people. They're not yellow-skinned people. They're not light-skinned. They're not even. Some of them are even lighter than the Romanians.
Okay, so but these light-skinned people in China, aren't they going to be genetically more closely related to their fellow Chinese people than they are to white Europeans?
What happened with China is that they've been attacked many times. They've been overrun. And what I'm saying about the histories, as I was saying earlier, the histories have been doctored. So we're not sure who was it, because we know the Westerners came there, shot up the place, murdered the Shaolins, and then raped their way through the colony. So all the historical timelines have been kind of messed up. So because we haven't got the people there, because I'm not that guy, this is why it's a theory. Because I haven't got that timeline, I'm saying that before white people got there, Shaolin people weren't killing each other. White people went and destroyed them. They murdered them. They weren't doing anything to anyone. You understand what I'm saying?
What about earlier in Chinese history? There's been lots of wars recorded in Chinese history.
Absolutely, but again, like I'm saying, I'm not sure where they started, because also in the samurais was known to be black, and all of a sudden there's no evidence of black samurai except black samurai dress and no black actual dress. And obviously, if you read books, I'm a black culturist. So if you read books by J.A. Wozers and certain other Van Sertima, the original people of the planet were black. So what happened to them? So if you rewrite the history, I'm not sure if I believe what's being said. That's what I'm saying to you. Remember,
okay.
Right.
So even if the historical record has been maybe purged or is inaccurate, like maybe white people kind of have erased the contributions of black people. Let's say that might have happened. Let's look at this kind of hypothesis. If black people were the original people in these places like Japan, the Japanese samurai, and China, like ancient China, kind of, wouldn't you expect there to be kind of remnants of the DNA of these black people that would be similar to the DNA of black Africans?
There probably is. There probably, I don't know if there's a few people that are still left in there. That, you know, like what they call it, the Innu. You know what I'm saying? There is still black people there, but their numbers are dwindled.
Do you mean like the Inuits, or do you mean like the Ainu in Japan?
The Ainu, sorry, not the Innu. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. But those people kind of they don't look kind of they don't look as Chinese, let's say, or as kind of like Han. They don't look like Han Chinese do, the kind of Ainu people. But I know to me they still don't look like, you know, black Africans. Like
you didn't catch the show. I'm not dealing with Africa. I'm dealing with human beings and black and brown. I'm not dealing with Africa.
Okay, so black doesn't mean kind of people sort of native to Africa. Not
to me, it doesn't. No, it means the people, the original people of the earth, the black and the brown people. Like the original Chinese were black and brown. I'm sorry, the original North Indians were black and brown. The original Chinese were black and brown. The original Japanese were black and brown. The original Europeans were black and brown. So what happened to them? Why the entire Europe is dominated by whites? Because white people are like a virus. They wipe things out. They don't go there and share nothing. They wipe entire regions, entire gene pools out completely. And then they start again from mixing with that people, putting their bloodline in what's left of what people, and saying, this is us. We're now Spanish. You know what I mean? Or we're now Mayan, or we're now whatever. So this is what they're known to do. So I can't call, when I say white people, they're not all Europeans. They're of that thing. So you got the Arabs and all these other people who are still white skinned and have found a way to find their way into these different cultures, you know, like the Jews. The Jews are Semitic people, which are brown people, but now today they're all white. They're all from Europe. They're Ashkenazis and Sephardi, and they're European. How did the European people get to plot themselves over a Semitic people? The Semitic people no longer exist, but yet Europeans call themselves Semitic. This is what's happening. This is what I'm saying.
There are sort of Middle Eastern Jews who still look like, you know, normal Middle Eastern people.
That's not the point I'm making, though. There's always going to be.
I agree with you that there are Jews who sort of moved to Europe kind of 2,000 years ago, and now they look sort of indistinguishable from kind of white Europeans.
No, that was even before that. That they have a way. White people have a way of implanting themselves on the culture, like how the Chinese are white now, and inbreeding, and then moving the white of that society to the highest echelon of that. So everybody now wants to be white. That's, you know, they did that in Pakistan long before Gandhi. You know what I'm saying? That's what they do. They enslave people. They're enslaving race. As a race, that's what they do across the continent.
Okay. Yeah. This is tricky because I know. But anyway, that's interesting. Yeah. Thanks for talking to me about your views a little bit. Well, actually, one more thing is that kind of what you said about the black people in Africa. I think you said that in history there are no records of black people using hitting each other as a form of punishment until sort of colonialism happened. Is that right?
Yeah, that's what I said.
Yeah. Well, like I've come across sort of some records, and maybe you could look into this topic as well, of kind of pygmies. Who these are people who are kind of naturally very short, and they live kind of in sort of a little bit south of Rwanda, of some of them, and so they're kind of about half as tall as normal people. And I think you'll find some historical records of those people being enslaved by sort of Bantu Africans. So maybe you could have a look into that, and you might find evidence of sort of black people mistreating other black people before kind of Europeans kind of colonized Africa.
But there's a difference. There's a difference between enslavement and chattel slavery. There's a difference. Chattel slavery, which is what happened to us, which is an inhuman form of enslavement, was when you turn people into things. You turn people into animals and things. Now you can enslave people. You can they call it slave labor or slave wage, where you haven't turned them into a thing. You're not able to kill them at will. You're not able to have sex with them at will. Their children. You're not able to buy and sell their children at will. You're not able to have sex with their children at will. So that's what I'm talking. When I say slavery, that's what I'm talking about. The inhumane actions of Europeans and their relate how they're non-human in their behavior. So one wonders if they originate from a human form. If what David Icke's saying about reptilians, have they within their gene pool a reptilian which is a foreigner to Earth, could have come from Pallades and all this other stuff that he's talking about. Has that happened to white people being dominated and ruled over by an inhumane DNA, and do they have an inhumane DNA running through their bloodline, their blue bloods and all that kind of stuff? That is my hypothesis. This is what I'm looking at. You know what I'm saying? This is what I'm trying to open up other minds of thinking, because I don't understand how one race of people could annihilate so much of the earth and still seek to annihilate more of the earth while they're in total control.
Well, like earlier you kind of already said that when you talk about white people, you don't just mean Europeans, you mean people of light skin in India, people of light skin in China, people of light skin in South America. So
no, I didn't say that. I said white-skinned people. Because there's a difference. You can, like, if a white person goes with a black person now, yeah, according to where they've been, that person could look really, really white, like Sean King, or they could look, you know what I'm saying, mixed, like a little bit mixed, more like Obama. So this hasn't just started last week. So there's lots of different ways in which black people become lighter, according to them being stolen from a dark continent. We don't know who started where, who's from Gambia, all this stuff is such a mix-up. There's no solid way of proving that this person hasn't got white people in them anyway. So but the lighter you get is the closer to white you're becoming. So you'll have you might have, like, I mean, they said John Brown, who fought for black people's freedom in America, they said he was a madman because he was an actual white man trying to free black slaves. So they said he was a nutcase. You know what I'm saying? So so it doesn't mean that there's not going to be white people that are going to be on the side of blacks, or they're going to do, no, that's just not what it means. There were white people in the civil rights movement. I'm talking about, when I say, and I said this earlier, and I'm not going to change that and say not all, or some white people, because some sounds too minute. I say white people on the whole, because they have their confederates and the people who watch over their elites and their controllers do this to other black continents and do this to even their own people. You know what I'm saying? So I'm saying all the white-skinned people and the people who are transitioning to being white, not the brown-skinned people who are lighter than the dark-skinned ones. You know what I'm saying? So it's kind of, that is in itself is like, He'd have to line them up against the wall to say, well, okay, this is where I tried to do this at a lecture. Where does white start? You know what I'm saying?
Okay.
Because you've gone everywhere. You've gone everywhere. You've raped everyone. You've taken over, not you, but the white society, the white race. So it's very difficult to say at what point they were here, because where they don't need records to be, they wipe them out.
Okay. Well, I have to go now, I'm afraid, but it's been nice talking to you and hearing your views. Maybe you could have a look into kind of slavery concerning pygmies, kind of Google it and see whether there's evidence of the similar dehumanizing attitudes kind of that the pygmies were exposed to by their Bantu captors as in slavery committed by Europeans or other groups of people. Anyway, thanks for having this chat, and yeah, thanks for being on, Leon. Yeah, bye.
Right.
I respect James. Thanks for coming on, man. Yeah, I got next brother who wants to jump on as well, because I'm gonna line him up still.
Yeah. I'm saying, like, you see, it's difficult because you can always draw, like, I don't have evidence. So if I say I don't have evidence and you provide me with them, then I can examine it and then say, oh, I can see where this led from, or you know what I'm saying. So I don't have evidence about everything. So you get what I'm saying. We have to keep this thing going, and like the more people that can come and say what they need to say, is the better, because there was nothing else that he was able to be able to deal with. You know what I'm saying? Or decry. It's just that he's saying, oh, that we also like that. But I'm saying that's not how, I don't know. I'm not sure at what point in history until I see it to be able to relate to that. You know what I'm saying? And so we as a people, our genetic splicing in terms of our partnerships, you know what I'm saying, it's not doing well for our enslaved status. You know what I'm saying? This constant of seeing a girl and these pervert, and the black man's now becoming like the white guy. Because I remember when I was young, I can't remember talks of perversion, and I don't remember none black people, the black men that I remember we used to have girls walking in their knickers almost and stuff like that. We used to go to dances. I remember going to dance with girls never wore no bra and stuff and had see-through tops on. There was no perversion going on. All of a sudden, where did this perversion come from? Did they introduce a whole? This is what I'm saying. Did they introduce a whole new, different breed of people into it, and that added this level of lowness and this level of psychotic and perverted and narcissistic and disgusting behavior into the thing? So now people are thinking strip clubs is the new lit. Watching a girl just dance. It's not like. You know what I'm saying? Like, who cares about whether a girl can dance or not? What's that got to do with anything? She can't read. I was just about to say something else. But yeah, you know what I'm saying? So as I was saying just before you called on, the patterns, that the personality traits that people are buying into right now, which leads on to probably another show. You know what I'm saying? That buying into now, they're not real. A lot of them are fake. You know what I'm saying? They're not real personality traits. These are character, what I would call character adaptations. They see a character and they adapt themselves to that character to say, this is how I'm going to be. You know what I'm saying? Just like how the guy that does Man's Not Hot, he adapts himself. He becomes, one minute he's obviously he's acting, but that's what I'm saying. 1 minute he's a warden, the next minute he's the guy playing Man's Not Hot. And in the Man's Not Hot, he's distributing dunceness. You know what I'm saying? He's exhibiting a dunce spreader. You know what I'm saying? Can't say words properly. It's not Ireland, it's Island. You know what I'm saying? And so Roadman, what is so clever about being a Roadman? If when you're given his character type or his stereotype, it's a dunce you're showing. You know what I'm saying? So that's the new clever. Is dunce the new clever? Is black the new white? And all this kind of stuff. You know what I'm saying? You can be, there's lots of things to learn. You know what I'm saying? There's lots of things to learn about being in this system and these people and what they're doing to us. There's lots of things that we need to look at in order to change, the way we behave. You know what I'm saying? We need to, grab control of our personalities. We need to grab control of our impulsivity. You know what I'm saying? And stop behaving in a self-destructive way. Who's going to do that? I can't do that. That has to be done from a bigger, more broader spectrum. Like music and things that affects people's lives. Big guys who've got loads and loads of influence. I don't have that type of influence to come up with no solution. You know what I'm saying? I don't have that. You know what I'm saying? These people, they help the process of healing. You know what I'm saying? You know, that's why they talk about reparations. Is, you know, we haven't had a moment to repair. But if we repair, we will cause a problem for the system that's about oppression. They haven't got where white people are across the globe isn't because they were good people. They haven't gotten where they've gotten to today because they were a pleasant race. They're a killing machine. Everywhere they go, they kill. They kill for fun. They kill for sport. They just like killing. They like to kill mammals and things that bleed. You know what I'm saying? For the fun of watching them die and sticking them up as trophies. They don't exhibit great qualities in terms of human beings, but then they want to say we're all the same, and we're not. The introduction of this type of behavior comes from the European mindset and the people that are related to the European mindset. You get what I'm saying? Or the European, DNA. It's from them people going all the way back to Genghis Khan. You know what I'm saying? You love these names, but if you look good at who you're looking at some people that that have crossed over. So I don't see how people are like some people are quite like upset, like, oh, you can't say that, you can't. Yes, I can. It's a hypothesis. If you've got something to add or take away from that, then you bring that. But you can't say that. There will be no need for people to debate. Now, if you're short of temper and your breathing is shallow, you won't be able to manage. You're going to lose. And especially with the black people. Black people think that it's okay to take set on other black people, but they're scared to. They're very scared. And I think a lot of white people, other than being robbed, they're very comfortable with the fact that they can be amongst black people and go amongst black venues and feel safe. But a guy who lives in another postcode who's black, he can't feel safe going to amongst black people because he don't know who's going to want to kill him because he's alive and he breathes in and out and he's black. Doesn't done nothing to nobody. He's just alive and he breathes in and out and he's black. And if he goes somewhere where other black people are, they might kill him. If that's not an animalistic and retarded and not even primitive, because primitive people are that's a different type. Prime people are different type of people. We're talking about savagery then. We're talking about that level of fuckish, no sense type of stupidity. That's what we're talking about. You know what I'm saying? And what we have with a lot of them is adult children. You know what I'm saying? These grown men and women who act like, you've seen them on the internet. You know what I'm saying? This wasn't about 10 years ago. Grown men and women who still have the mind and the actions, even though they've got the weight or they've had children or the size or the age, they're petulant. You understand what I'm saying? That means you're like a child. You act and behave and react like a child. The fuck? Going on with, niggas, what's the fuck? You know what I'm saying? You got grey beard and you react like a picnic. You know what I'm saying? You talk like a youth man, like an uneducated youth at that. You want to do things in your 40s that children in their 20s stop doing. You know what I'm saying? Like you're a retard. You know what I'm saying? Self-destructive and impulsive. You know what I'm saying? That's all you seem to be able to put. Our black people seem to be able to put on the fucking table. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, you can't go to cinema because you know so the Monday. What? What, we're gonna kill you? What? Because you breathe? Because you're dark skinned? Because what? Just adult children. You know what I'm saying? They're fucking stupid. They're retarded. They think because they pay bills or they drive a decent car. A child of a 20-year-old can do all those things. 20-year-old can own a house, drive a car, pay his bills. So what is the difference between a 20-year-old and a 40-year-old? You know what I'm saying? Who's fucking acting like a 20-year-old? One is retarded.
Nas made the truth. He said he's in his second childhood, isn't it?
Yeah, I mean, like, if you're happy with that, that's you. Is that what you're passing on as a legacy to your children? To act like it's not like have a youthful outlook, but to act like a fucking picnic for the rest of your life. React like impulsively, like a youth. What's that? What are you talking about? Like, you know what I'm saying? Is that what you think is being grown up? Because you've got a car, you drive a Merc or you drive a BM or you drive, whatever, you drive an Audi. So because of that means you're an adult. No, it doesn't. Because 17-year-old teenagers can drive those cars.
Yeah. But yo, X, we got next brother from the chat who came in the chat room still. Brother, good God Allah. Yeah, you wanna unmute yourself, fam? Yo, you there? Brother, good God Allah.
Righteousness, brother. I was just fixing my mic.
Okay.
My setup.
Yeah, peace, man. So you saying you got some questions you want to ask X?
Yeah, I've seen the brother for years. I respect the brother's work that he put in for years with the knowledge, and the understanding. I actually forgot the question, because the brother was going in and you see what I'm saying. So, but just you can keep on going in because there was a pertinent question I had for you still, bro. So you can carry on. When I get, I'll ask you right away. Yeah.
All right.
Where's the
cool. Your ex, but before you continue on, still, a few people want to come on as well, and man ain't trying to have the panel where there's 100 man in there because everyone just talks over everyone. So we're gonna do one at a time, innit? So I beg you, fam. As soon as man get as soon as it comes back to man, just interrupt and ask the question so we can get the other people on as well after you get me.
Allah, I think he's muted his mic again.
Yeah. Well, I hope you heard that, Allah. Let me know if you heard that. Yeah, I feel awake calling man Allah, fam. I know the Muslims ain't gonna like that, fam. What you say? Are you a Muslim as well, brother?
I'm a Muslim, brother. I'm a Sufi.
Okay.
I'm a
Sufi. Say
I'm a mystic, I'm saying, brother. So I go in deep, beyond the Bible, beyond the Quran, I go into a lot of things, so
yeah. Saying that and yeah, X, do your thing then. Your Ras, I see you in the chat, fam. We soon come still. We're gonna do this one man at a time thing still. So soon as brother good God Allah does his thing, we're gonna send it to man still.
Right. Well, I mean, as I was saying, I was dealing with the petulance of the adult men. You know what I'm saying, and a lot of the adult females as well. That they're retarded. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's dealing with the retardation of the adults. That's why the youths they don't give a fuck about adults now. Because they're so how can you be a youth man going to and then some fucking man your dad's age is looking after the same girl as you? Of course that's gonna piss you off. And then you turn around and look at other men and think, because he's just like that, he's just like he's not on the same trip. I've heard you say that, what the fuck what are you doing, brother? Then they when them youth men they get hurt, they wonder why. You know what I'm saying? You're not supposed to be in the same room and the same place as that you, unless you've got your own fucking chick. You know what I'm saying? You've been looking at, you know what I'm saying? And trying to act like you're a you. It's different if you're an adult and you brought her along and you met differently. When you're trying to act like a youth man amongst youth men, it's like they're thinking, I ain't seen my dad and now I got this fucking guy to look at who's like a fucking dickhead. No, man, this is like jarring me, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, how does that help us? How does that help us when we've got adult children? Grown men and grown women who are petulant like children. Easy to crying and gossiping and fucking chatting shit all the fucking time. You know what I'm saying? I mean, bring somebody else on. Leave him there then, bro, and bring somebody else on. You know what I'm saying? Because we're gonna then end up running out of time. Because I mean,
we said 11 o'clock wrap up.
I've got the question now, bro.
Right.
I've got the question now.
Yeah.
I was gonna ask you from when we factor in slavery as well, time, we're talking about black folks. Since from slavery up to now, who do you think? Well, who's more responsible? Who do you think is responsible for us being in a situation that we're in? That's all I'd like to ask. Is it? Are we our own worst enemies? We've been our own worst enemies for 500 years, or is it? We got conquered. Go on, brother.
Yeah. Can I ask you a question?
Absolutely, brother. Yeah. Absolutely.
What do you think the white man is smart or not? Would you rate the white people as smart people?
I would say he's wickedly smart.
Right, good. So that answers half the question then, yeah? His manipulation knows no bounds. He is the ultimate on this planet. Like I said, I'm not even sure if he originates as a human being. He is the ultimate manipulator. You know what I'm saying? Don't fuck about, bro. So yes, black people do have a part to play in it, but you see that brother there? You see them? Their manipulation is incredible. You see, they do it to even their own people, man. You know, you'll see black and they go, no, that's not black, that's white. No, but I saw it was black. No, it's white. They can convince you it's white.
How about the Muslim Arabs as well? They had shipping ports, you know, shopping ports at the edges of Africa. Would you have to put them in the pot as well, my brother?
Of course, because remember, I'm not sure. Because what I'm saying to you is that there's so much missing from the historical record. I'm not sure if those Muslims are a part of the European stroke Caucasian race, because they are of the Asian sort of race. I'm not sure. I can't learn everything all at once. But when you look at them now, I'm not sure. Because these Arabs, when you look at them in comparison to some of the slave pictures that were drawn and painted, they're a wholly different color with a wholly different hair texture, which is aligned with the European hair texture. So there's stuff that's missing. So if you just go, oh, they're Arab and just that, yeah, you'll have an answer. But if you look at the DNA quality of them, you'll see that they don't have black bushy hair. You know what I'm saying? They have white strawny hair. They have that white rare hair. We are not black people on the whole are not a hairy people. I don't know where we've gotten the hair from. Maybe that's mixing and all that. But they're a hairy people. So I'm not sure if we're the same strain of people. You know what I mean? The Muslims are not the same strain of human as those blacks. And I'm not sure if they're not the same strain as there's different strains, like the strain of the Australian Aborigines. You know what I'm saying? They're a peaceful strain. They're not a warlike strain. You know what I'm saying? A lot of the people from the Africa are not a very peaceful strain. That's why they were easily overrun. You know, the Mayans. You know what I mean? They add stuff to their historical record. They add stuff they're doing. It's very difficult to be clear. You know what I'm saying? But yes, the Arabs definitely had something to do with it. But that's because I don't think they're a part of our, the human treatment of humans is always paramount to humans. The inhuman treatment of humans, that's another race of people. That's another breed and another mindset completely. Because human beings don't treat other human beings like that. Nowhere in the historical record is that there.
Oh, brother, I forgot the Jews as well. But I mean, if you want to class, we could still class them as white as well. But
they are white now. They are white now, but I don't know how long they've been white. That's what I'm saying to you. And when the whiteness, because what they do is they enter the periphery. It's called entryism. They enter the periphery of your culture, enter the periphery of your world, as you know what they did in Africa, and then they slowly slide themselves in until you start to look up to them. You know what I'm saying? They manipulate your culture. So now the top white man, the top Sufi, the top what they call it in the Arabs, the top mandem. You know what I'm saying? Like they're white skinned people. The top Apaches. They're not red skin anymore. They're not brown skin anymore. The Blackfoot. They're light skinned. How can you be called Blackfoot and be light skinned? And the early pictures, if you go back to some of the early pictures of the Ararats and the early, they're dark skinned people. They come and they do this stuff, and you don't know how they get to do it. They touch up paintings and they touch up things and change it. But then if you go to stuff that's from the same period, like a picture of them in front of King Ferdinand, the Indians that they brought back, they're black. They're not light brown. In comparison, they're black skinned people. Black people are the original human beings across the continent. They're the original people of the earth. So when people are talking about Africa, they're not thinking about the Australians. You know what I'm saying? They're not thinking about the Canadian so-called blacks, who they're called Indians as well. They're not talking about them. They're not thinking about the European blacks that they wiped out. Because all this stuff has got to be wiped from the historical records. So it seems like these people have always been here. But where? Where did you enter? Why everywhere you've gone, you're new to? Why are you new to everywhere on the planet, but you started off on the planet? But everywhere we are, not Africans, but definitely the solar being is everywhere on the planet. Everywhere on the planet, that solar being has been there or has evidence of being there. They don't have that evidence of being anywhere, really.
Oh, brother,
from history.
that's my problem with David Icke, you know, and you know, guys like what's that next dude now? The Vanakin, the Vanakin. Yeah, him, Von Daniken. That's my problem with him, because you know, when he's talking about these ancient people back in the day, and from it goes behind any type, for me, anything beyond 6,000 years is black.
That's what I'm with you, bro. I'm with you 100%.
So I don't feel like they give enough. You know, they don't depict. I don't feel like their depictions are right. Nothing. You know, I don't feel like they make people know, well, black people was there then, and they were with some reptilians, and you know, then they can put in their other things in there afterwards. You know,
absolutely, I'm with you on that. That's what I say. I said it to everybody that I see what he's saying, but what I know that they're white and I know that they're tricky is because he never mentions black. The same with all of them. All of them. There's another guy, there's the Irish guy. He's the same. He talks about going back in time and when evil, and he never mentions black people. You know what I'm saying? They're all the same because, in a sense, even though they understand they're antagonistic to their own on Earth, they won't give the big up to the black people. Then, you know what I'm saying? The original human beings of the planet. There is no other human being other than brown and black people before the Ice Age, long before the Ice Age. So you mean the only time you can introduce them? Where did you lot come from? They said, and what they want to say is that it's something to do with albinism and some mutation. No, that's, you see what I'm saying? There's no proof of that. I don't know how that came of being, but I no longer believe that. That's where they came from. Because if that was where you came from, you still should have a flat nose then. You should have these traits.
Brother, the Ice Age theory is foolishness. I mean, if we was living in Europe and it got cold, we would just move to somewhere hot and then come back when it cold, when the weather better, innit? Man is not fool. Man wasn't foolish. We were building pyramids and all type of thing, you know. So, man, the black man weren't fooled.
But that's what I'm saying. Imagine. So what did you do? You are a people that wipe out races, because what happened to that whole level of intelligence? What happened to those people? Remember, there's also the story of Atlantis. There's lots of other stories. There's a story of the Earth not actually being mapped already, and the story of the Earth not actually being around. There's so much more stuff, and the little time that we have on Earth is not enough time. So nobody has all the answers. But what I'm saying is, as a conquered group of people, as a group that lives under the terror of another race of people across all the continents, there must be something else we can look at. Remember, if white people was not racist, if it wasn't inherent and genetically imbibed into them, why is it everywhere on the planet where black people and them exist, they suppress black people, they terrorize black people, they rape and kill and wipe out black people? How's that? And they're not racist. You know what I'm saying? They don't have a racist gene in them. So how's all this happening, you know, all, you know, consecutively, concurrently all over the bloody planet?
Brother, the way I see it, brother, you know, that, and you know, I don't have no hate. I see it as an animal, you know, like you know, a tiger. Now I love tigers, but I know, say, if me and him, if that tiger's hungry, belly, he gonna take my head off, you know. So I understand that you know, I understand its nature. You understand? So that's how I deal with them, you know. I understand the nature. I know what I can do, and I know what I can't. That's how I have to deal with it.
Yeah, but first he has to see you as prey. He won't attack a snail.
Well,
he won't jump on a thing. He has to recognize you as prey first. So if he has a choice between you and a deer, he's going to choose a deer. But if he recognizes you as prey, then he'll attack you, because you know they don't have vindictive mindsets. They're not vindictive. They're not. Their DNA is not DNA and vindictiveness or you know, sort of like whenever I feel like killing a human today. It's based upon need, and only that.
It's just the nature, you know. So, you know, some animals do crazy things as well, you know.
No, but that's you know, you're talking about animals that live amongst human beings.
Well, I mean, even us, we have a nature, you know. So everyone has their own nature, you know. Chinese people have their own nature. They're a certain way.
You're talking about personality traits and all that. But I get that. But what I'm saying to you is that you still have to recognize, like, I'm just using your analogy. I'm saying, because you're talking about these, you see white people as, basically you're saying you see them as predatory, because that's what you're making yourself prey. But what I'm saying to you, first of all, he has to, like, going back to the white man, black man analogy, the tiger, which is the white man, has to see the black man as prey to attack him. He ain't gonna attack a rock. He ain't gonna just go into a rock and attack it. He wants to see something that is going to fill his belly, which would be the man. Or he might, if he chooses, he might think that the man is easier to catch than the deer. It really depends on how he sees you as prey.
I think.
You get what I'm saying?
I think since his introduction into the planet 6,000 years, I think we are his, like how the jungle. Yeah, I think that we are his prey. Yeah, we're his prey. Yeah, we're his prey.
You see what I'm saying?
I think the whole planet's his prey, really.
Yeah, but yeah, because he's not in a line. The white people of the planet do not act in alignment with the protection of this planet. They're dead. By the time if you give the people 100 years, white people, they will destroy this planet. They have no love for the planet, and they have no love for the original people of this planet. I'm not talking, again, when I say white people, I'm not talking to every single your next door neighbor and your best friend. I'm talking about what they do as a race and as a group, and they continue to do as the decades pass. And as we were talking about earlier on, they have no start. They're not going to stop knife crime because it feeds into their prey-like state, where they're just going to keep on pretending that they're helping you out, and they're going to give all these little greedy, licky black people some money to fund a club for a couple of weeks and get the money back. So it's you know what I'm saying? Like, I've got this feeling, how can you want to do the same thing? Like, don't people recognize the patterns? How can you want to do the same things over and over again and accept a different result? You know how you do it? By keep removing the information from the news. So each generation, so the young people coming up, and they don't know none of that news. All they hear is grime and shit and bollocks and school. So they hear none of that stuff as what has happened before about the riots and all that, unless they're directly interested in it, or their dad's that way, or their mom, you know what I'm saying, and they've come across it. But other than that, so it's not there. So they grow up with this empty-headedness, and then one day they wake up and see black people are under pressure, and they start off back like basically in the year 2020. They'll start off like they were starting in 1960 or 1970, because they have no connection with what's actually gone on to say this is a loop. It's the same thing they were doing in the 70s. The same thing happened with the meetings of the gun and knife crime in the marches in the 80s. And then the same thing happened in the knife crime in the 90s. And now in the year 2000, the same thing was happening in the 2000s. In 2010, bruv, they don't want to help shit. It's a lie. It's a fallacy. They're not helping no one.
Doctah, and I feel like because of our nature, we're easy to, we're like sheep, and we're easily led down. We're easily led people. And that's why I don't feel like, because of our nature, there's no stopping this until when the devil, he doesn't want to carry on. When the devil says he wants to stop, that's the only way.
He's not
with nature catch him. Unless nature catch him, innit?
Well, yeah, let's give it another title. Let's give him another title. Like, since his sojourn on Earth, since he's come to Earth or whatever, the Earth has been slowly eaten away, like it's crumbling. It's falling apart because he throws nuclear waste into it. He poisons it. He rejuggles it. He puts together, non-natural substances and created artificial substance which the Earth cannot absorb. Yeah. So that's more like a virus. That's like when you get a virus in your body and you can't get rid of it, and it's slowly killing you. It's adapting itself to you and it's murdering you. So you give it, it's not going to stop. Virus don't stop until it wipes out the host. That's what a virus is there to do. So if you look at the planet Mars already been wiped out by someone or something. You know what I'm saying? All there's so much. This is what I'm saying to you, that with black people and their narrow-minded views and just want to talk about drill music and fucking chicks and looking at girls with jiggly batties, you've got so much retarded black men, grown adult men who are retarded and won't pick up a book, won't start reading Jack. And I've been saying this for years. I haven't just started to say it. Won't start reading Jack and Jill Went Up the Fucking Hill because they're scared, because of what? The neuroticism, their guilt and the shame has taken them, because they've taken so long to come to try and educate themselves. So they still play out this, look on a girl, a 51-year-old man going, look on a girl, their body. Bruv, you got grandchildren. What the fuck? Are you a madman? Is there something wrong with you? You're sick. You know what I'm saying? Like, you're a pervert, bruv. You're no longer rational. You've now become neurotic. You're like a pervert, like an underdeveloped child, an adult child. You should have gone through that phase of your life a long time ago. So this is why there's so much focus on perversion and sexuality, because the grown men are still stuck in their in their teenage phase.
Well, that's why I was saying that, because of our nature as people, we're easy to fall into the programming, because parents don't know. I would say 1 out of 2 every 10,000 black people know what you know, you know, and so they're not skilled enough to teach their children, like, or stay away from them or, you know, I wouldn't make my child keep on playing. If I see them always playing Grand Theft Auto, I'd see that's a dangerous trait, that you keep on playing that and you're into that. So I'm gonna take that away. You see what I'm saying? Because I know you're getting too deep. Or some more righteous parent will take the whole thing away from them. So they're not only allowed to, I only want to see you reading books. No TV.
Yeah, I know somebody like that as well. Like they try and balance it out, you know, and try and rob them from that. But like, hold on a minute, you've been playing that game too much, man. Have you done your homework? That kind of vibe. Yeah, this is conscientious parents, though. These are diligent parents. They don't, you know, there's nobody teaching parents to be parents. These people are still making babies from when I was saying 20 years ago from the dance hall. They're meeting people in the dance hall. They know nothing about them. They don't know what their personality is like. They don't know what they're into. They don't know nothing. They don't know the team they support. And by the time they've got the baby, they start to get to know the guy. So I'm saying, you know, and the guy doesn't like the girl or the girl don't like the guy because of their personality traits. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, what you said is spot on.
And your ex man's got like 18 minutes left still, so I want to
all right, nice one, brother.
Still.
Respect for that, cool, bro, for that interaction still.
Oh, righteousness, brother Doctor X, and the righteousness to you, content over everything as well, man. Respect for that. I'm gonna leave, bro.
A lot.
Have a good day.
Make sure you jump on the next show as well, man.
Whenever you're on, when are you on again, my brother? When you're doing the live stream, that is.
Every 2 weeks. So the next one will be, I think we've already got the title in it. I think the next one is called Hollywood Effect. Because that's when I'm going to go into this personality, you know, and why people are acting in characters, and you know what I'm saying? So
I definitely want to come in on that one.
Yeah, that would be what date is that? What date is that, Con? Leon?
Let me see one sec. That's going to be on the 13th. It's going to be on the 13th. No, not the 13th. My bad. That's next week. The 20th.
All right. So that's the next one, bro.
Yeah. On the 20th.
We'll catch you.
I'll be there. I'll be there then, definitely.
All right. Respect, bro.
Yeah, all right. Righteousness, brothers. Peace.
I know, brother. Peace, brother.
Yeah, man. So yeah, we're looking for more balance in this thing. You know what I'm saying? But we're not going to get it because none of us are empowered to do it. We know everybody's scared because there's so much neurotic black men and women that they're scared. They can't suppress and they can't control these anxieties. You know what I'm saying? They can't. They're easily offended. You can't tell them nothing. They become anxious. You know what I'm saying? You can say, oh, you want to come to this class where we're going to try and learn? No. What you think I'm stupid? You think I'm dumb? You know what I'm saying? Like the pride and the guilt and the shame. It's leaving them in that neurotic state. They cannot move from that place. You know what I'm saying? Because they're wearing Gucci, so you can't tell me I can't read because I wear Gucci. You can't tell me I can't read or whatever because I drive a BM or what. You know what I'm saying? It's like, like what the brother just said. It's like, you're becoming your own enemy. You're becoming like the enemy, so you become your own enemy. So you're now an enemy to your people, even though you're trying to say that you're a black person or you're down for this. Because you're not helping. You know what I'm saying? You're not helping. And like when I say stuff, people say, "Oh, X is against this," and because they don't want to face what I've got to say. They don't want to face the truth. You know what I'm saying? Or what I have to say, whether it's the truth or not. Like and then combat what I have to say with something else and say, "Well, no, that's wrong what you said because blah blah blah." But they want to stand in one corner and try to eat it, man. Just like what I'm talking about the adult children, try to eat it, man. You don't know what he's talking about. All over the other side of the road, like you can't hear them, and then try to wind people up to come against you rather than have something constructive to say. And the discernment that we need, as black people, we need to be more discerning and start to be able to fresh out our own thoughts and realize that somebody's winding me up, because that's a part of the European society, winding up and pranking and all things that what they're saying in the Bible, make evil fair seeming to man. They do stuff like that as a part of their culture. So we become a part of that.
What's it say in the Bible? Make evil
fair seeming to man. Yeah, there's a part where it says, I can't remember the exact quote, but the exact part, but it says this group of people make evil fair seeming to man.
Okay, so they make evil seem like it's a fair thing.
Like it's like a normal thing. Not when it says fair seeming.
fair seeming mean like it's normal. Yeah, you're right, like it's normal. Yeah. So you're gonna make your mum jump out of her skin, scare her half to death, and laugh. That's funny. She's shitting herself. So you think that is a good thing that you've just done?
You mean like Jackass and all them things there?
Huh?
You mean like Jackass and all them things there?
Yeah, and now black people are doing it. You know what I mean? Doing all sort of nasty stuff and saying, yeah, it's a prank. And then like I've seen say where a man licked down his fucking youth. And he said, no, it's a prank, Dad. No, why would you do that? Why would you draw up this negative emotion in another human being just to laugh at them? I don't respect that, bro. I don't understand how we've bought into that. You know what I'm saying? But again, you will buy into it because they control everything. They control all the medias, the books, the magazines, the newspapers, the television, the cinema. And if they don't control it, like I said, with your particular platform, you know what I'm saying? At some point in this evolution, the bigger you get is the more they decide they want to add, they want to buy out your stream or buy out your thing. And if they can't do that, they're gonna find another way to come in. You can't float, you wouldn't be able to float this, because in a second it would be gone. Because they want control, especially if it becomes popular. If you float, it's like you got big enough to float your thing on the stock exchange. Within a second that buy out. And bare white people own your thing. You know what I'm saying? And then all of a sudden, the content changes and it becomes like some little regular, talking about some stupidness with some sellout blacks on it and rare. You don't. This is what I was just saying to that brother. Do you deny how smart white people are? He said they're wickedly smart. That's right. Because they know all of this stuff that we talk about, neuroticism, is a psychological and a mental state. It's a damaged mental state. They're very good at fucking with your mental. You know what I'm saying? This is why teachers, mothers and parents want to fight the teachers. Children want to lick it, you know what I'm saying? Because they know how to fuck with your mental state to get you to rare. And you know what I mean? And these are things that none of us have trained or practiced each other to mentally or psychologically fight against. We always say, yeah, lick him in his face, bruv. Lick him down, bruv. Kick him over. Or box her. That's what we're telling each other. It's your liberty, bruv. Lick her. That's instead of saying, all right, work it like this. I mean, nobody wants to do that. Everybody wants to be impulsive and impetuous, like a picnic. A big man licking over a next big woman over some argument with their picnic. Are you dumb, bro? What kind of stupidness is that? This is what adult. This is how you would consider this to be adult. So because we ain't got nobody to check our adult levels, when a 35-year-old man boxes over a next woman in school, they think, yeah, you're right, bro. Yeah, I'd have lick her in her face too, bro. Like, no, that's dumb, bro. Why would you do that? You're stupid. You're gonna go to jail. Your son's gonna get, like outcast and all that, or maybe even say, why would you do that? That doesn't make sense because you're impetuous. You can't control your moods or your temper. That's what a neurotic fucking personality is, and we are stuck. Many of us are stuck in that stage.
Yeah, your ex. We got the last 10 minutes of the show now. Still. We've got Raspik in the building still. Hey, Raspik, take your mic off mute from and introduce yourself. I see the fire lines going crazy in the chat still.
Yeah, we in the building. Cause purify, because there's very wicked man energy in there. You get me? So we have to purify with some fire of purification. Shout out I Find Love, Papi, Nino, for that covered the whole fire squad. The whole fire squad. I can't name all of them. Yeah, we just came over with some energy from my side of the water. But yeah, man, big up Doctah X. I was earlier, man. We could have a stronger reasoning, but from what I've been listening to, yeah, man, big powers, man. Big powers. What you said about the surface is completely correct as well, man, because it's like it didn't work before. So when you're saying we're bringing it back, it just doesn't make sense. That's exactly what I'm saying. The statistics show it doesn't work. Tomorrow I'm going to I've got a BBC engagement with the borough commander at Brixton Police Station. I've got to be there at 11 contest, so you can go down there if you want to Batman still. So I'm basically going to go and tell them that. You get me? Obviously, they ain't going to listen, but we're just putting it down for the record. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, that's great stuff, bro. That's good works, bro. You know what I mean? You can only do what you can do, but as I was saying earlier, they have there is no intent, bro. This has happened from, I can tell you, because I was at these meetings, from the 60s to the, well, not the early ones, but 70s was the same. 80s was the same. Police brutality and stabbings was the same. 90s was the same. Police brutality. 2000 was the same. Now in 2000, we're going into, remember 2010 was the same. Now we're moving into 2020. Gonna be the same. So what is it they're fucking doing to change shit? Nothing. What they're doing is they're creating more private prisons. They're locking up more man. They're creating more. They're not doing with anything to do with the environment. They want you to deal with just police. Police are not psychological in that sense. They're what known as a force. They're meant to enforce shit. So whatever the government tells them, that's what they're doing. That's why when a man empties 16 shots into another black human being, you know that that's a racist thing. And the government are still defending racism across the world. So let nobody fool you about they're trying to help us. We have to help ourselves and we have to grab hold of our own thing. But it's difficult because, as I said, so much men are trapped in a neurotic state that you can't tell them nothing. As soon as you go to tell them something rare and gunshot and what of another black man, and when the white man talks to them, they're like mouses. It's all, it's like there's only certain people, like I suppose, like you lot as youngsters coming up with gang that are able to say, well, no, we're not afraid of you. We know some shit. What you're not dealing with. But these other guys, it's not happening, bro.
100%. I think that's a power that definitely empowered me when dealing with the police, because there's a confidence man out on the streets which makes man say, yo, you can't tell man nothing, bro. You know what I'm saying? Where you see sometimes the brothers, sometimes like they'll try, force the people in society to be kind of fully submissive to everything they say.
Yeah.
Man, I want to question everything. You know what I'm saying? I'll just do what they're saying. Even like I see an auntie the other day. I don't know if you saw it, but they was doing a big stop and search at a court station.
Where?
There's a video where they're doing a big stop and search at a court station. I think that is going on his channel. Have you seen it?
Is that the one with the Birmingham woman?
All right, that one there. Yeah.
Yeah.
And there's a next video. Actually, I'm gonna get into that in a minute. Obviously, we've got a lock off soon, but that video just told you one. They're stopping and searching people under the Anti-Social Behaviour Act. Yeah. And she pointed that video. I don't see anyone behaving antisocial. It's the same as the Terrorist Act. Yeah. Why are you using these acts and calling it these names when that's not the actions of even why you're stopping and searching people? You know what I'm saying?
Sorry to cut you quickly, to go back to just quickly to illustrate what you're saying. When they was doing when the Irish were bombing up London, yeah, and we used to, that time there was no raves in South London, it's mostly over North London, yeah. We had to keep crossing, the bridge, the London Bridge, and they had that thing. Guess who they were stopping the most? Guess who they was juking down the most? And at that time we weren't terrorists, we weren't known to have bombs or nothing. Guess who they were stopping the most crossing that bridge at night time? The black people then. So you get what I'm saying? It's like they've got this fixation on niggers all the time across every continent. So this idea that somehow it's some localized thing and bruv, I've been to these meetings. You know what I'm saying? You're just another generation doing the same thing the generation before me did. When are you going to change your shit? That's what we want to know. Not when are you going to enact some other shit that's going to prolong the same old shit. But when is it going to be when is your government? The police can't do nothing. It's the government that needs to change their policies. And remember when they shut down the Loot Club, and the first thing you do, they had the ice cream gun in Birmingham, they shot that little young girl. What are you talking about? These people, they don't give a shit about us. It's all a game they're playing. They're shuffling around the board. But how can the police, all the police can do is stop about arrest. But the environment that creates this viciousness and this volatile it doesn't come from the police. It comes from the government that they work for. You understand? They just enforce. I mean, not saying that they're not a part of it. They're all a part of it. But I'm just saying they're a part of that. If you change the law and say you can't stop in church, then they can't stop in church. If you change the law and say that you can't stop, then they can't do it. They can't override that. But the fact is that they're all working in tandem to suppress and harass black people and create these and to sustain these neurotic states. Sorry to cut you, bro.
Yeah, man. No, you're good, brother. No, and just back to the auntie. It was the auntie that is her knowing her right and being confident why she couldn't get no stop.
Yeah,
because she knew her right. You know what I'm saying? And it just shows the importance of us knowing our rights. That is like probably the most important thing. Because on so many occasions, that is the power that they use. They use vulnerable people that don't understand the law and don't ask questions.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And they intimidate them with their badge and their baton and their authoritarian voice, and they'll make commands which are actually requests. Okay.
yeah, for real. But then, bro, I just was saying to content, they're gonna bring in guns soon, bro. It's not they know what they're doing. All these things are in their thingy bob. It's not like I'm just guessing. They will, because they need to keep this terror state going. I don't know how we're going to do this, because I'm not saying there's no way out, but it's a different approach is needed for the 21st century. We're 20 years into the 21st century and it's still the same shit as the 20th century. Come on, bro. I mean, like, even Rosa Parks' move was revolutionary, bro. You know, she said, I ain't getting up, fuck on them. I ain't getting up. You know what I'm saying? That's new. That was new for them. But you can't say I'm not getting up now because it's old. You can't say I'm going on another march now because that's rinse. What's the new shit? Where's the new brains of this 21st century that's gonna come up with some new shit and say, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna, you know, I don't know, climb on the roof of the, you know, I don't know. I don't want to suggest that, but I'm just saying, like, you know, these new things. Or what we're gonna do is none of our group is gonna go into Tesco's for the whole of the fucking week, or I don't know. That's something. But I'm just saying, I'm just making shit up. There's something that goes, where they go, Ross Clark, we never made not a penny this week. Or Ross Clark, they're not longer, they'd rather write to, you know what I'm saying? Stuff that makes them go, their government, their other people go to their government, hey, what's going on here? Like we're not getting no money, you know, whatever. No, what's marching going to do, bro? After 50 years of marching, what have we really achieved? I can't see the result, bro. So I'm saying to people, where's the new youths then? The new ideas that are going to come up with new ways of creating mind, you know, creating, like in the France, they did the yellow jacket thing, brother. They messed with their shit. You know, they said, yeah, is it yellow jacket? You know what I'm saying? Which started with actually the police starting that. So new and innovative ideas of how to show them your disdain with the status as it is what's needed, rather than what they say about the definition of madness, doing the same old things over again, expecting a different result.
Yeah, insanity.
100%. I think that's why even the B-Walks were sat in fresh, because we locked off roads. You know how long when people march, they ask when they can march, where they can march, how long they can stand there.
Where they can stand, how long they can stand for. Yeah. What kind of march is that?
We went out there. It wasn't even a march. We didn't even plan to. We just planned to go to respond to a child being killed, and we just ended up locking off the roads. You know what I'm saying? And then people are saying, "No, the police are saying, but burn that. We're locking off the roads." Yeah, and went from ends to ends and mobilized the youths and sent a message out to people. You know what I'm saying? On the estate directly. You know what I'm saying? Instead of going to Parliament, we went to our community where that was happening. You know what I'm saying? I feel like that's the way we're trying, but we're still trying. We're not there yet. But I feel like when we can use that energy from that mobilization, and transform that energy into action within the community as well, a bigger action kind of seen by the community, I think that will be a little bit of an upgrade from maybe things that have happened in the past.
I hope so, bro. I hope that, you know what I mean, like you lot's age group, you lot, you know, as a gang, you know what I'm saying? Like I said before, and this time I never knew none of you, but in my opinion, I've never seen anything in this time, in my time, like that's anything different from what's gone on. The only thing is, you lot look back and see if you can find something like that's like gang. You know what I mean? Or look back and see if you can find that. There's nothing. So whether people like it or not, whether people, you know, respect it or not, it's new. It's not the same old. There's nothing like it. When the Raiders were in Brixton, they didn't operate like that. They were just called the Raiders, and they went and they end up becoming security. They didn't do that. I'm from Brixton. You know what I'm saying? So this is a new thing. Like I remember people stopping the traffic and all that. I don't remember a gang of youths coming together and doing that and becoming and saying that, yeah, we're from the streets and we don't want to live like that. The only reason why we, you know, as the other brother was saying earlier, we are really, you know, most people really want peace at the end of the day. We don't want the war thing. But in order to get the peace, sometimes we have to go to war. That's the only reason why we have to make a bag of noise.
100%.
You know what I'm saying? But so this is what gang is about, saying, yeah, we're on road and, you know, we defend our ends, but we're not just going to go and defend for the sake of it. We're doing it because we're in a hostile environment that you lot have created and put us in. But you're trying to make it look like it's not your fault and it's our fault. And so that's why gang is so new. So a man can't say nothing about that. There's nothing like you before. You know what I'm saying? And God knows what will come after, but there's nothing like you before. So that's new. That's a new. So you can take that, I believe, to another level because that's new. I don't know what you lot be able to do with it. in terms of where you're gonna, you know what I mean? But it's new, so that's a new thing that nobody else can't say has happened yet. That never happened in the 60s, the 70s, the 80s, the 90s, the 2000s. It never happened. So therefore, this is new. So this is what we want: new mindsets, new innovations. You know, good saying to people, "Oh, what you need to do is start a business." Then when Marcus Garvey did that say 100 years ago? So you feel that's new then, is it? You're going to start a business now in 2000 with the taxation and the inherit and all these stuff that are available that are fucking with your levels now. So now you want to start a business. But 100 years ago, you didn't think that was necessary. I don't understand. So that's not new. You know what I mean? I'm not saying that's not feasible. It's just not new.
And imagine that, even content would tell you, even that was us riding out. We wasn't even meant to ride out there. There was a lot more planning and we wanted to ride out a bit more different, like be a bit more organized. But because we were responding to something that came in the happened in the community, it was like we came out prematurely. You know what I'm saying? But there's a bigger vision. Hopefully we can I feel like there's a lot of building to do there at the same time. But like, yeah, definitely the heart and the intentions, powerful, man. Powerful. And it's just a community. You know what I'm saying? Because it's nothing about the community that responds. You know what I'm saying? The people that share the posts online. You know what I'm saying? Some of them don't even turn up, but they share the post with their children. You know what I'm saying? The people that come out and stand with us for 5 hours. Content's holding the camera for a good 8-9 hours. He's holding the camera, my brother Doctah. That's why I tell any boy, they see this whole thing, yeah. Man can't say nothing until man say content over everything. So you shout out Leon, man can't say nothing because you might not see him because he's behind the camera. Yeah, but in order for you to see the man them, he has to be there. Without him, like, we would have put some people in the park just chatting away. You know what I'm saying? The consistency and the efficiency. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, man.
He's a true entrepreneur. That's what you're seeing him do is entrepreneurialism. Yeah? He's not a businessman. He's an entrepreneur. That's what entrepreneurs do. They get their own area. Spot on, man. Big respect to him.
Even inspired me, got me on my channel doing like 34-hour streams and that, because I say, yo, this man work hard. You have to work hard. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man.
Not one Sunday man taking off. You know what I'm saying, fam? Not one Sunday since the park on a lay thing. Because he's on a lay thing and since he reached there with his camera, not one Sunday the man taking off. So you got a big man up for that because it's consistent. And commitment. And you see, and one thing I'd say is nothing in life, this is my final thing, nothing in life, yeah, like no matter what it is, yeah, when you got consistency and commitment, you're always gonna go through.
Absolutely. And remember, you're not gonna stay the same age forever. So as you mature and start other things, then have to start to respect your team. But like you said, as long as you're consistent and on it, you know what I mean, they're gonna have to come out and respect. You know what I'm saying? And then you'll inspire another set of youths them. And this is what they hate. You know what I'm saying? This is what they hate. They hate the inspiration. Because no matter what they keep doing, they keep finding another way to inspire, even though they pull all the guns out and, you know what I'm saying, try to murder man. You know what I'm saying? And, you know, like, it's important to recognize, which is what I said to you. I'm not coming with solutions, I'm coming with an awareness. It's important to recognize some of the tricks that they have up their sleeve. So then you can plot against them rather than just running into a trap. You know what I'm saying? Or at least recognize them and say, I heard about this. Like, boom. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah.
All right, man. Hey, yo, X, it's that time, you know.
Yeah,
5 minutes past the hour still.
Yeah. Well, let me. I just like I said, what was I was talking about? Like, there's too much mismatch. I just want to finish that point. There's too much mismatch relationships, and that, you know, you do have to take time out because the adults are the children. The children turn into adults. And if you do not develop them properly, they become retarded adults. You know, Michael Jackson is the naming point. You know, you don't want a big rash 40-year-old man wanting to ramp with kids. You know what I'm saying? Now, when you look at it properly, it doesn't make sense. If that was my youth, I'd licking him in his face. Like, what are you doing with these little 5 and 11-year-olds? You're a fucking idiot. You know what I'm saying? Like, so you want the person to grow up seemingly. You want them to face these different avenues in life and grow up and stop reacting petulantly and like a picnic, and stop losing their temper as somebody talks to them, they want to thump them in their face. This is not the way adults behave. You know what I'm saying? And that needs, and because of the music constantly telling you how to be unruly, big men don't have there's not another set of music because white people again control all the media. So there's not another set of music you can listen to, you know, to kind of bring you into an adult mindset. Like, I prefer the new Jay-Z album, and you know, people are licking out against it, but that suits my mindset as my age. You know what I'm saying? I want to be listening to, you know, Fuck Gal and Strip Club and Molly and Percocet. I don't want to be listening to that, because that ain't gonna do me no good for my age. The most thing I'll do is, if I hear my youth to it, I get what they're on about, but that's not gonna help. So you see what I'm saying? So if we find different ways of stopping conflict, because if you got orderly versus disorderly, you're going to get if you're with someone and they're an orderly person and you're disorderly, you're going to get conflict. You know what I'm saying? If you're with somebody and they like this thing that you hate, you're going to get conflict. Why are we building all these conflict relationships and then taking what we can't resolve at home back out on the street? You know what I'm saying? We're not taking it to the white man's workplace because we'll get fired. We take it back on the people that we're close to. So this is what I'm going to do about what the show, The Hollywood Effect. Because what you're doing is you're playing characters. You've now bought into characters from Hollywood, and you're play acting bad man. You're play acting, you know, rich guy. You're play acting based off of the TV. And so, you know, that show on the what date was it again, bro?
On the 20th. On the 20th.
Yeah, on the 20th. That show on the 20th will be about the Hollywood effect and how, you know, the acting and the characterizations through music and through television is turning us into these, furthering the neurotic state and turning us into these slaves of the European system. You know what I'm saying? And like, there's other great things happening for black people. There's other great speakers who are less than wearing baggy trousers, and I'm not knocking that. I'm just saying that, you know, we need to move out of that era. That era's been going you can't have an era going for 2-3 decades. That means somebody's controlling that. Eras usually change every 10 years. You get a little change and shift. Why do they hold on to this type of mindset for so long? Because it feeds their shit. It's destructive. It's not helping us move forward. They crushed the hip hop, the early hip hop days of, you know, with all the black Malcolm X stuff. They crushed that quick and poured their money into this and made this last over normally 3 decades. It's not supposed to last that long. There's no music that lasts that long. It's usually every decade it morphs into something else. Even between grime and drill, it's changed in a short period of time. But this hip hop, violent, ragamuffin turned into gangster, ragga, kill people, murder man, shot man in the face, grudgeful man. You know what I'm saying? All this stuff is based upon a neurotic state post-slavery. It's not based upon anything to do with badmanism, anything to do with these guys. These guys are retarded. They're not developed properly. So they think this is the only way, and then they bring people who are educated into this mindset as a black mindset. It's not. It's a sick, it's a ill, it's a underdeveloped mindset that is become popular because the system doesn't want these people to be educated, because they'll start to rail against the system. So we just, I want a Ferrari, I want a Jaguar, I want a this, all this kind of consumerism is what they want you to look into while your people are dying all over the planet, while they're starving all over the planet. So with that said, I'm saying we've got to look forward to the next one, the Hollywood effect. We've got to, you know what I'm saying, and see if we can look into some more stuff about, you know, the behavioral personalities that we have, and again, just some more awareness to be said. So big up to all the callers that called, and all the listeners that listen, and, you know, hang in there, you know what I'm saying, because we're just, you know, like I said, we're just discussing some stuff, and I've got my theories. I've been at this a time, so I'll keep pushing them out, and we'll keep talking and see where it goes. Content.
Yes, Father X. Don't know, yeah, respect man. For coming to you again, and yeah, everybody who's in the chat as well. All challenges. What are you saying, X? All challenges welcome. I like.
Of course, and you see what we do. You know what I'm saying? What should we do the next time? Have it. Let's talk and let some few people in, because you're saying there's more people to come in.
Yeah. There's a few more people who want to come in as well still, but obviously, man's trying to the last few times that man's done it, everybody on the panel at the same time. It's been chaotic. It's been chaotic. You get me?
Yeah, that's much better.
I feel it's good to have the one-on-one thing. So yeah, probably open it up a bit earlier.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, that's what we probably do. Yeah.
Yeah.
Big up, my brother.
Big up James. Big up James as well in the chat. He said smash the like button.
Big up everybody. Yeah, I'm saying. Listening.
Big up everyone that came over and showed some love in the chat. I see the pagans. I see all the pagans disappeared when we came over.
Big up respect. Big up respect. Big up the gang. You know what I'm saying?
Big up the whole family. Big up everyone, man. You don't know. Enough love. We're
All right then.
over my side. We're going to be back over my side. If anyone wants to come over, you get me?
Yeah. Everybody who's still Respect just said it still. He's gonna be. He's live. You live right now, isn't it?
Yeah, we live.
He's live right now still. So jump over there. You want to catch some more live stream business. But yeah, for this show from me, X, Respect, we out till next time. 20th. Make sure you log the date in. Put a reminder on your calendar. 20th from 8 to 11.
Yeah.
The Hollywood Effect. That's what we go next week. Not next week. The following week. Yeah. Fortnight thing. Yeah. All right, man. That's it, man. We out. Peace.
Peace.